So, welcome back everyone to session 7 of our Heart of Mora campaign.
First time doing this.
Last session we left off, you guys were still sailing across the ocean on your way to the Heart of Mora. Zavra at the helm, and Jason and Skippy leading you guys across the seas. Avoiding sight by the elves was Lucian and Davina still, and trying to avoid anyone getting invested in this mysterious object that Zovra has taken into her custody in her own quarters as well. You guys have been keeping a sharp eye on that after discovering the thief Lucille aboard, and the captain deciding that she wanted to kill her, you guys deciding that she wanted to stay alive. The happy medium was that she be manacled and more or less tortured as she was thrown off the bowsprit and has been dangling thusly.
She got one little break when we pulled her up to question her. Who pulled her up? Was it?
Davina and Usk kind of had a moment, I believe, of more questioning before she seems unbreakable with what information she may or may not have. Nonetheless, she has been suffering greatly, but as the ship carried on throughout the course of a day, you guys noticed another ship far off in the distance to the south of you. The captain, being a little wary of the seas, decided to continue onward north as you were heading, as it could be a number of different ships, but although there was one in the fleet that matched that description, she didn't necessarily want to take the risk, and seeing as the ship was gaining on you, it made her even more nervous. As night began to set in, you were assaulted by the ship from a great distance as cannons fired upon you, and Zovra ordered you to return fire as Timdel and Wincy manned the cannons with Glaucus, and you guys fired back, realizing that you were outgunned after another volley, some of the cannonballs connecting with the ship, and Lucian nearly getting struck by a cannonball and getting killed. Yeah, he managed to get his shield up in time to bounce the cannonball away, which was very fortunate. She decided that there was no way you guys were going to outrun this, and a conflict was not desirable. She called for you guys to darken the ship, close in the sails, and you floated in the darkness for several hours, as eventually far off, thousands of miles, well, maybe not thousands of miles, but at least hundreds of miles away, later on in the evening, you hear the sounds of another battle of multiple ships engaging in cannon fire, and Zovra, considering that this might be the rest of the fleet that you guys had lost several days previous, ordered you guys to pick up the sails and begin towards that conflict, in which, by the time you arrived, the conflict had long ended, and as you swashed through the wreckage and the carnage, realizing that there were some bodies and flags and memorabilia that were of the nation, you guys, Zovra, decided to continue to press on towards the Heart of Mora. The crew growing increasingly uneasy the next day as you were aboard the ship going about your daily routines. The crew decided it was time to try to overthrow Zovra, and several of the crew members, led by Jason, attempted to mutiny and take over the ship, of which you guys sided with Zovra and decided to fight against them and showed them how to do it, and ended this mutiny rather quickly aboard the ship, and of which this is where we will come back into it, as Zovra is just dealing the final strike to the last of the mutineers and pushing the dead carcass over the side, and you hear this kind of as she kind of swings her sword to the side and then wipes the blood on her sleeve before sheathing it again and kind of...
What just happened?
It's a mutiny.
I just came up here and everybody's fighting.
Is everybody okay? Glaucus! As she goes over to Glaucus, who has a massive sword wound in his chest and blood is over there. There's no breath in him as she kind of holding his head. Anybody?
Come back to life.
You brought back Wincy to life.
Wincy.
Glaucus was overlooked during the course of the fight as the battle ensued on, and he has seemingly since bled to death as she holds his body in his hands. You guys kind of gathering yourselves around, like shaking off the moment you hear the kind of like of heavy footsteps of armored soldiers coming up the stairs as 3 Knights of Avondale
Sup?
come up, fully armed, axes drawn, shields out, and another 4th individual behind them, more slender, with a very big blue cloak, same as the rest of them, but less heavily armored, wearing a lighter leather instead, and kind of like staying towards the back. You hear the head of those knights, which is...
So how are we playing this?
And nice timing, my dudes.
What has happened? Is there help needed? Sobra's kind of like, there's a mutiny. Seems as though we've dealt with it. You hear a voice come from behind, as from the other staircase, the 2 elves have also come up aboard. You hear Faltrina and Franzano kind of like, what's going on? What's going on? They're going to roll some perception checks. Nat 20. As you are looking around, Davina and yourself, both of you catch eyes with Faltrina and Franzano as their eyes go very wide for a moment.
You can mask me.
Can somebody explain what is going on?
Seems that Jason has betrayed us. He led a mutiny against the captain.
Okay.
Captain, are you under control of this ship or not? Everything is fine. Everything is fine. The mutineers are dealt with. You hear a very soft, light voice come from behind them and kind of push aside between the knights as one of them kind of... Princess, this is not the time. This is my nation, and if I am to be aboard this ship, I'm going to take control.
Oh.
Captain? Explain to me what is going on with this ship. Do you have control or not? Please, this is under control. Please return to your quarters. I can assure you everything is safe and just fine. That is not how it appears to me.
Can I finish stringing my bow?
You...
I'm trying to make it clear.
Ready?
Perfect.
How many have we lost? We have lost 8 members of our crew. You still have the means to run this ship? She kind of looks around the deck.
Yeah. If she catches eyes with me, I kind of give her like a...
Yeah.
Perhaps with some assistance we will get this ship running and make our way.
Hard work montage. Hard work montage.
Hard work montage. Let's go.
Everybody's working.
As the 2 elves come over and start like looking at the dead bodies, and Faltrina goes to each one of them and kind of examines them.
Good to know.
And Zovra like grabs her hand. Not this one. Leave them. They do not deserve a second chance. As one of the mutineers' bodies laying dead, and she kind of like, very well. This is your ship.
We have our own way of dealing with dead bodies. Oos, do you care to show them?
Be ashamed to waste the meat.
Are you chomping in on some body? She kind of like, ghastly creatures. Captain, as Franzano steps in. Explain to me this wounds here. Very suspicious. Who amongst is using this magic? Looking at Davina. You. Who are you? Show yourself. She is a passenger on this ship and is under my care. You have no right here. Franzano, know your place. As
Just gotta have
the
my foot.
Princess Marcia kind of steps up. As of right now, I am in charge of this voyage.
That's... Who are you?
I am Princess of the nation of Avondale, and that is all you need to know.
Can I?
She like flashes her hand. You see a rather large ring on it
Can I
before she kind of...
inconspicuously cast thaumaturgy to change my icon? Because
Roll me a stealth check.
it's not open.
No.
You try as subtly as you can, but your incantations make noise, hand gestures to make it happen. Ah. Magic user. This is divine magic.
Oh, something my eyes.
It is not what we are looking for, Franzono. Leave her be. She is strange, yes? Yes.
That's not very nice.
As they are whispering amongst each other, can everyone roll me a quick perception check?
Here you go.
Ooh, that's 4.
Nat 20!
Yay! Oh, here come the good rolls
First
for
roll of the
Kushagra.
day. It's plus 4.
It's not a charisma check.
24.
I roll bad.
Yeah.
24 the highest.
10.
10k. 18. What languages do you speak, Kushagra and Usk?
I rolled a 24.
Draconic.
Okay, Kushagra?
They only have common. I think they. Apparently it's only common.
Should have it. Oh, maybe you chose different ones because you did custom background and stuff.
Culture. Oh yeah, that might have something to do with it. I took the charlatan background, but they have other proficiencies. But
Yeah.
He's good at other things.
No, I think that's Drexy gets an extra language.
Do I know?
What did you roll?
24.
Okay, so Davina,
Yes.
what language do you know?
I get
Elvish.
one other language.
Oh yeah, I know.
I just don't have her.
I'm an elf.
You're an elf.
Just happens to
We'll
be elf.
pick one.
I know, but I want to pick Elvish because I need to know Elvish. But
You can roll.
Elvish is always
could we justify by saying that the port town that I'm from is close enough to
It's very
Illyria,
close,
and
yeah.
there actually is enough business with them that I might have learned it at some point.
It's up to you.
I think most characters I make, Elvish is usually one of the go-tos.
It's a very useful language.
Elvish Dwarvish, yeah.
That's
What's
why I
the race
chose
breakdown
giant,
in
so
Ortho?
I mean-
It's its own little.
It is very
Never
mixed,
go to
yeah.
South
It's an
End.
independent city, so it's quite mixed. More so than
It'll be
most
like, what?
cities, because everyone is welcome to live their own way there for the most part.
Would the
I like-
Elvish-speaking population of
I
Ortho
like
be
the-
the higher, like the higher?
Knowing giants.
Just realized I didn't move it to table can.
Yeah.
Never came up, but sure enough, I had it.
I know, right?
Would like only the upper class in Ortho be the ones who speak Elvish, or like
That's-
is it kind of like
That's fairly common
Is it a
across
class?
the world.
Okay.
Not a lot of people are taught Elvish because not a lot of people learn Elvish for
is
the
it
most
Elvish
part.
or Elvish?
Elven, Elvish.
Elvish.
We'll say either or.
Very divided. You ready for these answers?
Either or is fine, I'm sure.
They call it Elvish in
Yeah.
D&D.
Elvish
And the
script.
board, it says
Elvish yards.
Then I'm gonna add an Elvish.
Okay, so you and Davina would overhear them. She seems to be of the moon, Feltrina. You know what we must do. Yes. Now, perhaps is not the time while aboard this ship. We shall wait, perhaps, till land to deal with this problem, to avoid any conflict. As she kind of, you see their eyes go to the knights. As you understand? Yes, this would be wise, but we should keep our eyes on them, no doubt. Very good. As he kind of like, you see him grabbing his sword and he kind of puts it back in, pulls his cloak over a little bit. As Princess of Avondale kind of steps in. So, Captain, are we on course to arrive as scheduled? If we are able to get a few volunteers, would the 6 of you be very good? Would your knights be able to help as well? Of course.
I audibly groan.
Very good. Will that be suffice, guard, for you, my dear? I am quite capable of handling myself. Thank you. It is time for me to lead, I believe. If we are going to arrive there safely, it will be on my account. You 6? Thank you for ensuring the safety of this ship.
It's a pleasure.
It's
That's
the
princess.
The princess.
Oh, princess. Or the captain.
She's the-
No.
You may call me princess.
Look at me.
I am a princess, and you may address me as such. As you see a little bit more of her face, very, very, very beautiful. for one.
She's so pretty.
As this very tiny frame, like very fragile in appearance. Her clothes are very tightly fitting. She has long golden hair that's kind of braided, and it kind of comes down around her neck as it pulls over, and her hood kind of falls back a little bit, covering most of her head still. She has some favorite boots, I guess, that are like thigh-high boots, basically, that come way up.
I know, I was like,
And very like big, beautiful blue eyes.
Big, beautiful
Blue eyes.
Blue eyes were not what I was thinking.
No, she's very petite in frame, actually. As far as if you're referring to bust, she is not. Apparently. She kind of like. You can tell by her appearance that she is very young, though. Still, like she's
Maybe a creep.
like you would guess she's not a full adult necessarily, but like in her later teen years, perhaps, as far as people are concerned. Like 17, 18, 16, somewhere in there. 16, 17, 18. That would be your best guess, but she's like 110 pounds, like pretty tiny.
I thought you were like 40. Okay.
If I may, we should get rid of this extra cargo. Over the side, I suppose, is the natural order. It is my first time on a ship. I do not know.
Well,
I will take care of this.
You go down and get pampered, and we'll take care of it.
I feel like I've been like drawing up plans for like a pulley system, and Uska's just yeeting them off.
Nah, dude, I'm carving bodies.
Uska's like, it's time.
Yeah, Uska is currently ripping things apart quite handily.
He
Okay.
is
How come I
chopping.
did not have this open? There we go. This is much more helpful.
Leg anyone?
Am I still?
Are you a thigh guy or?
You want some ribs?
Romanius, Kreos,
Oh, right.
please take control of the top deck. The Mafi will take guard, and I will retire to my quarters. Let me know of any strange doings. Until then, Captain, continue forth. Keep me informed of any other things that happen aboard this ship. Also, I would like a word in your quarters about this object as well that I am told about.
How did she know?
Yes.
And Zovra's kind of like, very well, princess. The rest of you, Skippy, assign them duties. This way, princess.
I walked over to Kishaga. I was just like, "That's bad."
It has the potential of being disastrous. Yes.
Like I
To
said,
ruin us all.
if this thing is bad, I didn't want humans getting it, let alone a human of power.
That's no human.
Is she an elf, the princess?
Roll me a perception check.
I only just seen the
It was the princess of
Avondale.
Avondale.
Oh, okay. Avondale.
Yeah.
I keep getting Avondale and Lyra.
Can I roll
Gotcha.
since I'm...
I assume the knights are
Like,
human,
that's
so
no-
she would be human.
Yeah, perception.
Yeah, Avondale is mostly.
Yeah.
Human.
19.
It's very hard to tell. Her hood is pulled up. Her hair is very long and like comes over her ears and is braided quite tightly to her head. It's very long and blonde, and you just see like the golden braids, braids, coming down. You don't get a good glance at any defining features that might determine whether she was elvish or not. She's very young still, so it's hard to tell. As Skippy's saying, oh my god, I can't believe that we almost died in Kishagra. It was too close. My little heart just can't take it.
Who's saying this right now?
Skippy.
Good.
As Wincy is just like, having like
He's dead.
well, he's alive. He's alive.
It's
He's
normal.
he's-
normal reaction of having your throat unslit.
yes.
True, I got some in my pack actually.
You should
I
definitely
saved
get-
it.
Can I get a read off of Zovra? Like, do we ever make eye contact? Can I see, like, I'm trying to gather her mental state right now.
Yeah, roll me an insight check.
I like that. Gather the mental story.
Indeed.
Wisdom is 4, 13.
She's
Nuzzle.
clearly rattled, certainly, but she seems to have her head still about her. She seems very focused on the task at hand. Like, she's in work mode basically right now, where it's like, okay, no time to mess around. Like, we back to business. Let's go. And she's very rattled, though, obviously. But as to more depth, that's about all you get from it. She's as she kind of like leads this princess into her quarters, and you see the door close behind them both. And
Try and sidle up to the door.
okay.
Yeah,
I'm assuming there's other guards at the door.
The two knights are aboard. Actually, yeah. I guess let's put some guys. So these guys are aboard now. She goes back down to the bottom deck, and the elves are still atop deck as
So
well.
are the two elves knights as well?
No, they're dressed more in like cloaks. One of them, like the male elf, is wearing like a tight leather armor underneath, where the female elf is just wearing a robe. And she holds like this big staff with kind of a circle pendant on the top of it that has kind of a star in the center that kind of looks like a sun. It's got this kind of copper golden color to it.
Do I know what the...
Roll me a religion check.
Did you draw a card for today?
Weirdly enough, your memory is not coming to you.
Yeah.
You're still suffering so much amnesia anyways. It's like,
Easter.
it is Eve's Day, yeah. They're kind of morning, mid-afternoon or so.
Yeah.
Post.
Post mutiny time day.
As Skippy kind of starts coming around, he goes, "Oh, right, well, Captain's orders, I'm going to need to assign some tasks here. I need at least 3 people to be riggers, to swab the deck and handle the ropes and such. Volunteers, it's more of a sort of a strengthy, you've got to have a bit of a mind to it as well.
Tim takes a tiny step backwards at that mention.
I also need somebody to call for the front of the ship.
She takes a tiny step.
Whoever's got the best eyes will be best at that.
Pretty good.
Um,
Perception.
It's also worth noting probably need somebody to boost morale around here as well. Keep the sailors in check.
Real big,
Yeah.
standing right in front of Montgomery.
There is really good dark.
Skippy's like only a little bit taller than me,
Yeah,
so.
you and I both have the same thing. That's as far as like
My
moving
little
goes.
buddy's up front.
So,
I do believe I know the ways and ins and outs of the rigging, so.
okay,
Notes, yes.
okay,
Describe
okay.
detail of them.
Okay, Lucian.
I've worked on a couple ships. I can help where I'm needed.
Oh, very good, babe. Okay. And Kushagra, would you help as well?
Die.
Of course, I will help whenever I can. Unfortunately, the captain needs me at the moment.
Oh no.
Standing by the door.
Oh, sure. I guess I only need 5 people anyways to help with the riggings. I need 2 more volunteers, though. Lucian, thank you very much. Barrett, if you're helping with the riggings, or okay, just 1 more.
Okay.
Divina,
Am I not strong enough?
well, I don't know. We'll find out. I'm sure you look capable.
School takes one
As
more.
2 of the knights are already starting to go to work aboard the ship, like throwing bodies over the side and like.
Throw food away.
No.
Well, actually, I guess. All right, so as you're like ripping the limbs off of one body, one of the knights grabs a separate body and begins to like go towards the edge. The other one taking it by the armpits. They kind of double team this one body and start hoisting it. Are you doing anything?
Shoots one good eye and just like low audible growl.
Okay, roll me an intimidation check.
Mine.
That's a 12. Great.
Yeah, it's not a high roll on my part. As they both kind of like, well, if you're going to take care of it, I suppose. And it just, the body just drops to the floor again, and they kind of like It's all yours.
I want to start rifling through the pockets of whoever's left on.
Oh yeah, it was just all of it.
Jason has the to-do list. What? Mutiny.
Actually, that's 2.
All right.
Die.
Roll me
Never will watch
investigation
things,
check
never
for that.
3 makes a list.
Investigation plus
I'm
4.
going through
That is a 15.
I'm going through
15.
pockets as well.
Okay, Usk as well.
Are you ripping their arms off?
Oh, fuck
Launching
yeah.
on pockets.
For a
That's,
15?
that's 16.
And a 16? Okay.
I mean, if I'm helping.
So I'll say,
Here's my bodies.
Barrett, you find amongst a few of them 60 silver pieces,
6-0.
59 copper pieces.
6-0?
Yeah.
60, yeah.
Damn. Sorry.
And 59 copper. And a small leather-bound book written in this unique cipher. It seems to be some kind of ledger that was kept in some regard from one of the members. You see like a few names and like very shittily written poems and things like that. It's more of a personal journal.
Oh, baby.
Oh.
Oh, how
Usk, you got a 16 as well.
yeah.
You find on one of them a small jeweled bracelet. It's probably worth about 6 gold pieces or so. You find 8 silver pieces and 2 copper.
Silver, 2 copper.
And a... That's not a very good one. Hold on a second. And a vial of white liquid.
White.
Drink it!
Come on, Uski.
Don't ask questions.
Drink the glass of the vial of the milky eye.
Okay. As Skippy begins to like...
It's a rough one.
Oh, for a card?
Yeah.
Oh
Mystery
my.
card for today.
Pretty damn.
The 2 elves aboard the ship.
There are
They
9.
don't look, they're very happy.
There were 9 dead. By the next one.
8. 8 and 1 still alive. Quincy.
Wincy was the one who was saved. Interesting.
Maybe one
That's very
needs to die.
So, as you guys are beginning, and Skippy's kind of giving some direction, but eventually he has to take the helm and start, steering the ship.
Yeah, he needs eyes, right? So like
He still needs a pair of eyes to go at the front of the ship and basically check for wave breaks and things like that. So you're gonna be eyes,
Yeah.
okay?
and my eyes.
Okay,
Check
so
my little companion, will you?
the riggers are Davina,
My
Barrett, and Lucian. You're the eyes.
Use the charisma.
And
That's easy, baby.
who is you're gonna be doing morale? Okay. Usk is the morale.
You're not.
You're just ripping corpses apart right
You
now.
know, I told Skippy that you are the morale, so he just thinks that you
Yeah.
are.
Literal
They're doing a great job there, Risky.
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking slave driver who's work.
That's a dead body arms.
Just throwing limbs at people as they're not working hard enough.
It's like, or we could switch because I'm not good at morale.
Oh, I'm not morale. Oh, you want to be morale?
No.
No, man, Usk, you got this. Okay.
yeah.
And riggers. Okay.
I like to think that we went very different than what we should have.
Incredibly different.
Absolutely.
And you're keeping an eye on the door.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like sitting on like
We have
the
a bard
banister,
and we
like,
have a
the
barbarian.
guards are very like stiff.
The-
trained,
No!
right? Like,
The guards are helping with the ship as well. They're kind of occupied doing tasks as well. They're not like keeping guard.
I'm gonna stand as close as I can to the door,
Okay.
and if I can hear anything without putting my ear up to the door.
Okay, roll me
that
a
obvious.
Roll me a perception check then at disadvantage because there's a lot of noise aboard the top and you're further away than
Just the door.
just the door. Yeah.
It's not perception plus 4, I think. Yeah, plus 4, so 15.
Okay. There's a lot of muffles that you are like. You can hear the like, the vibration of noise and sound, but details are harder to make out, unfortunately. From
No raised
this.
voices though. No.
Seems to be a tempered speaking. Yeah, they're both fairly light talkers for the most part, anyways. Especially the princess. So it's hard to make out anything other than a couple of like higher tones that make their way through the cracks of the door or what have you, out to your ears.
Ooh, fucking I have a climbing speed. Maybe I can crawl over to one of them windows on the side of the ship there. Is there glass in those windows? I've been in that ship before, or that room before.
Yeah, I would say they're glass. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
But you do know that there's a balcony that goes out to the back that it just has a curtain.
Oh, that blue thing's a curtain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well then, yeah, I'm gonna try and climb over there.
So you go up to like the top deck, or
discreetly, make my way top deck and
okay.
make my way top deck.
I'll say for the sneaking to not be noticed.
Around behind me and do a little.
Okay.
Down.
So roll me a stealth check to sneak, and then it'll be an acrobatics to leap down.
Put me on top of this.
17 plus stealth, which is 9.
Like everybody is clearly pretty occupied about what they're doing right now. You're like, oh, Skippy's so short. He's like, like
I
he's.
just love that visual. The whole like.
Eh!
I think there's little
And I
smaller
don't want
ones
to
on
do
the
anything fancy. I'm
inside
really
for
just
So
want
I
to
love
use
them,
my
so she might
claws to
go.
carefully like
Yeah.
lower myself down and like too fast. Listen to
Yeah.
this curtain.
Yeah.
See if I can get any more details.
No problem. Are you dangling or dropping down?
I am. So I'm just climbing down. Just
Okay.
climbing. I'm just holding myself against the whatever, I don't know, whatever that
There's like
beam is called.
a bit of wood, yeah, that kind of frames the outside of it, and then the curtain kind of draped underneath it.
Yeah, because so you can see like there's that little loop there. So I'm just gonna climb down so that I'm holding myself on the side, just like standing there near the curtain.
Okay. Roll me acrobatics.
There it is. There it is. 9.
9. So as you're climbing over, you kind of feel the ship kind of hit a small wave, and it kind of
Did I
you have to grab onto the curtain for a moment. You hear this kind of small tear in it as you kind of, and you hear voices come from behind it. Kind of, what was that?
Yeah, I'm just gonna climb back up to the top deck and
Clambering back up.
walk back to the front of the door.
I don't know what it was.
To say that you haven't made it far down enough to warrant a roll for that, actually. But as you're climbing back up, you see the flaps of the curtains kind of furrow out as somebody comes outside to like inspect things, and you hear Zobra's voice. What? I could have sworn I heard something. Never mind. Kind of come back down. You see Skippy like, Cassandra, what are you doing back there?
Is he on the wheel?
You could probably use your hand on the ropes or something there, cat. So, after about 20 minutes or so... Oh, man, thank God. Okay. You do see the princess exit the captain's quarters, and Captain Zobra come out as well and close the door behind her and kind of locks it. They have a quick little sidebar. I would say since most of you guys are doing things atop deck and focused on what you're doing, Kashaga, if you're keeping track of this, you would be the only one who would be able to make a perception on their small exchange between each other.
The two knights?
No, the princess and Zobra as they come out of her quarters and have a quick little back and forth.
Yeah, I'm keeping an eye on.
Okay, roll me a perception. They're just having a quick, like two words before.
That's another 2. Perception's +4, so it's a 6.
You just catch the edge of it, and they kind of like nod in approval of one another before the princess begins to make her way down the stairs and back to her quarters. You see Zobra kind of like... She looks very stressed out right now, kind of looking around. Higher, higher, Lucian, higher! You need to put it much higher than that, or we won't catch the right wind. How are we looking up there, Timdale?
I don't know. How are we looking?
Roll me perception check.
Right.
So as we are getting across the riggers, I need you guys to make me athletics checks.
At the Norwich way.
All right. You are noticing the curves of the waves and being like, left, left, big wave coming, and you know Skippy's like, hey, wait.
Oh my God.
That's a 9.
I got a 7.
7. Oh God.
I got
Not
a
doing
9.
very good.
She was right to yell at you guys.
Yeah.
And Usk,
Five.
performance check.
I got 30
Wow, guys.
It is a 14.
Boost is incredibly
Okay.
Morale boosting.
So as you guys are trying your best, like Davina's pulling one side, Lucian is like picking up off the other side, and you're just going to ring, 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 ring as the sails are kind of like. The whole ship is kind of like.
I'm actively using my mage hand to kind of just try to hold things, multiple
You
things.
see Sten kind of like reaching for ropes and not quite getting them as they're like coming untied, and he's like, "Ah, damn it, we gotta get that one back up there now!" And it's not going super duper well, to be honest. But since Usk made a decent performance check, I'll let you guys all roll again as he's kind of like ripping limbs off. How is your morale sounding here?
work faster. You're next.
10.
13.
Okay, better.
Double what I did last time.
13.
Worse.
As you're holding on to one of the side ropes and it was kind of like you get a little bit stunned, your hands lose grip for a moment and the rope just goes right through them and you get take 1 point of damage as your hands just get ripped up like
I have inspiration. I should use that next time. I think I saw it one.
You okay
So
there,
bad.
buddy?
Witnessing this
Not great.
boost, chops a hand off and throws it at Lucian.
You'll need this.
his hand just flies like smacks you in the chest.
Bloody.
I hate your gift.
How rude.
It's like super bloody. Like more blood than you'd imagine.
Oh, finger food.
Okay, so you guys aren't doing super well. The ship
Great.
could be moving faster.
You're letting the team down, kid.
But
I'm doing great.
Or the idea, man. You see?
I'm not so much of a laborer.
but as you guys are
3 magic users, 3 magic manually.
change the music here, it's a bit.
Just let the rope fly.
That's actually right. And I was like, just like, feel it.
Gross.
I don't even know what's going on behind me. I haven't looked back once. All I'm doing
You're
is
just like,
looking
right,
forward.
right, left!
Yeah, exactly.
And screaming.
It's just my hand.
And you hear Skippy retort every time, like, oh, right. Oh, left. But as you guys are going about, Lucian, as you're kind of like, my hands, and like you're debating whether or not you're going to go at this rope again for a moment, and you feel a tap on your shoulder.
Oh, I don't like that music, man.
Excuse me.
Who is it that I see? So,
You see Faltrina and Franzano.
I am actively looking at this.
yes. Good day.
Who are you?
I am by many names.
Realizing it did not work.
Maybe not the right road.
I'm Lucian. Name is Lucian.
What is your last name? Where do you come from?
It's Foliatus.
I'm just gonna
It's just a family name.
kind of subtly just shift what it means over to you. Give you inspiration.
As they have an exchange between each other and in Elvish,
Which I understand.
Which you understand. He says, "That is one of them.
Do I hear as well?
Bye-bye.
Would you know a Gaius Foliatus?"
Trying to stifle my reaction towards the name.
You got a face that doesn't move right now, too.
Right.
It's just totally stoic.
No, I don't know the name, guys. I believe so. It might be an uncle or something. Guys.
Deception check.
Oh my god.
Good old Uncle Guys.
I don't think
Not my dad. It's not my dad.
Bring it around.
If you're wondering,
I
it's my
don't
dad,
think
it's
that's
not
gonna
my
make
dad.
much of a difference.
It's a 5. Galard. Galard.
Oh, Lord.
They begin to speak to you in Elvish only from here.
Yep.
Galard.
Franzano kind of steps in front of Feltrina. Let me see your hands.
I show him the ridiculous clown gloves.
He grabs one of your wrists begins to pull the glove off.
Are we all seeing this happen? Because
You guys are in top deck.
I know,
Roll me
I'm-
perception checks because you guys are actually busy. You're definitely just staring straight ahead, so no.
Well, I'm kind of trying to keep track of them because I heard their previous
is the
exchange.
captain?
I'll say
close
with
That's a
advantage
one.
then, and then with advantage for you guys because you
Hey.
are.
by? Is the captain still close by to this
Look, I'm just
interaction?
really
Um,
doing my job. That's all.
She is going around kind of giving direction to people. I'd say right now she is probably
On top deck, but not engaged.
not with this currently, no.
23.
Mine was a nat 20.
11,
Okay,
22.
those are, okay, you guys will all except for Usk. Usk, you're busy like
I'm busy.
either
Yeah.
eating something, yelling at somebody.
Typical middle manager.
Nom, nom,
Yeah, it's on your bad side. You can't see.
I'm tired of looking at failure.
But the other three of you guys will see, like, Franzono just very, very abruptly grab Lucian by the wrist.
I'd like to pop up behind
Okay.
Franzona, and I'm just gonna very jovially say, "Now, this cannot be a second mutiny in one day. Are you putting a hand on one of the captain's crew members?"
I step aside Lucian and there as well.
Crew starts amassing around the our
Okay,
friend
so you
Lucian.
guys start. So Davina, are you there as well?
Yeah.
Okay, so you three begin to come
Roll a
around.
check to see if I hear commotion behind.
I'll say roll a perception with disadvantage because you're really not paying attention to what's there yet.
Yeah.
But if you do, perhaps.
I'm saying it from behind him. Does
Pretty
he
good
turn
roll.
to look at me, or is he still
13. Yeah, waves are loud.
I see
You, like-
the ocean.
Still just
Yeah,
I'm pointing.
and so you're right behind him,
Yeah,
and
how's-
Barrett and Davina are also there as
how's
well.
the reaction? He's like, calm.
He kind of stops for a moment, and his grip on your wrist doesn't loosen at all. But he doesn't grab for your glove with his other hand, and instead you see one of his hands go towards instinctively to the hilt of his sword, and kind of like, "And what business is it of yours?"
he's our friend.
Yeah, with him reaching for his sword, I'm gonna grab his wrist and keep it pushed down into the hilt. Two hands on his hands. If he wants to take his sword out, he has to take his hand off of Lucian.
Yeah, you'll hear him and Feltrina kind of whisper in Elvish to him, "Now is not the time, Franzono. There will be another moment. Control yourself."
I'm gonna say in Elvish, yes, maybe this is not the best time.
Both of their eyes just go big wide, like, "Very well.
I don't know what they
Hide
said,
your
but I think it was
tricks,
done-
Lucian Foliatus. We will for sure get to the bottom of this. There is no doubt. Come, Feltrina. We must retire."
As soon as he takes his hand off of Lucian's wrist,
Loosens
I,
it.
I release him. Back.
Kind of like does one of these like arrogant get the fuck off me kind of things.
Have a nice day.
Immediately, I'll just turn to Skippy. Skippy, I believe my
Hey! What's that,
my
Kushagra?
hands are available. Where do you need me?
Oh, you better talk to Captain there. And Sobra's like, better help Lucian with the ropes. He seems to be having a struggling.
Lucian's like crying.
Because I'm literally just there, like, I'm not touching it.
Yeah, your gloves are like.
You may direct me, Lucian. I will be your hands this evening.
I appreciate it. See, I figured out the physics of it all. It's just it's a heave and a whole motion. It's, you know, heave.
It's a heave and a hoove.
It just kind of seems
Practice makes perfect.
So,
Or don't practice at all.
avoiding that, as the course of the day continues on, and you guys are doing an okay job, but not a fantastic job, but an okay job.
Excuse you.
Well, you're doing a great job of finding the waves, but as far as like holding the sails tightly and adjusting the sails to the graceful changes of the wind is not going as well, but Zorba's there to help as well, and the knights and things like that. It's okay. Going mediocre, yeah. You don't lose a ton of pace, but you lose a little bit, but not crazy. But the day does pass on and into the evening eventually, and you guys realize, you're hungry and you haven't had a chance, and Zorba's kind of like, all right, everybody, you will be able to retire for the evening and get some rest. We have a few members that will take the evening shift. I will be taking over. Skippy, time for your break. enjoy the rest. As Zovra mans the helm and Skippy goes to his quarters, and some of the crew just swap. You see Paulus, Cassian, and another lady which you've never seen begin to come up to the top deck and start working. And Paulus is kind of like, dinner is ready in the kitchen for whoever is hungry. Of course, that I didn't really have a lot of time, so it's just a simple potato soup tonight. I'm sorry, but
Lots of meat up here.
under the circumstances, there is just pools of blood and guts and bones like around Usk. You are so bloody right now. It's
Just rough.
ridiculous.
It's like the
You
bloated
think we're
belly.
getting into our cabin looking like that?
Yeah, you should probably jump and take a bath in the ocean before coming in.
You know how that worked out for you last time?
As Sten is also on his shift change right now, and he zips down and kind of like pats you on the side. That's very good work, Usky. I'm so happy you were aboard there to save us. I don't know what we would have done without you. You better get yourself cleaned up and get some rest.
I'm really into
He goes down, and Wincy has gone to his quarters a while ago because he almost died, so he was like in shock. And his friend died also as well.
And his friends.
There's always that.
And you see the three dwarves eventually come up as well to the top deck and kind of like, alright, so we're supposed to do what now? And Zorvas begins to give them instruction as to what to be done during the day as well. So you guys are all, by this point, quite tired. Is there anybody who wants to try to push through and not sleep?
Nope.
No.
Okay.
I am going to go over to Paulus.
Okay.
And
Timdale.
I was going to say put my hand on his shoulder, but I can't reach his shoulder. So.
Put your hand in this box.
So he like sees you like come over to me.
I can reach his hand.
Takes like a
I'll
little
touch his
half knee
hand. Yeah,
and
no,
like-
I can touch his hand. Yeah, I'll reach his hand. And
Timdale, are you all right?
I'll take care of cleanup. You can go straight to bed.
Oh no, I have been resting. I need to take the evening shift. We haven't the crew to otherwise.
I'll take care of it.
Looking at Captain Zobra, she's kind of like, are you sure, Timdale, you would like to take the doubles shift?
Positive.
Very well. Paulus, prepare something and then get some rest. Very well, Captain. Timdale, thank you.
and I'll kind of give a nod to Cassian as well.
Okay. You're staying atop deck, and the rest of you guys are going to your quarters.
Grab a quick bite and then.
I'm gonna make sure I'm close in proximity with these two.
Okay.
Are you guys staying up too?
No.
Oh, okay. Oh, no. Okay.
I need to.
So are you gonna stay in their room then?
No, well,
I honestly don't remember what the rooms are, to be honest. You guys
you want to
swip swapping.
That's 3.
You
Yeah.
have to make sure. Well, take care of our boy, because
whiskey boy.
He's full of blood.
Oh, right.
Just so.
Do I have like something in my hand, like a broom or something?
A mop?
Like
Say
a mop?
there if you want. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
mops.
Can I have a mop?
Just slop bucket.
Can I lock eyes with Oost from somewhere on top deck?
Well, you can lock eye with him.
On deck.
I didn't say it. I'm just gonna look at you with the mop.
No.
clean yourself up.
No. And let's try it. I'll be like
I
getting a
kinda
bucket,
want it.
throwing it off over a pulley, and like kind of getting some seawater over and pulling it up while you're distracting him with the mop. I'll be like, hey, get over here. Hey.
I'm like,
Are you guys gonna try and clean him?
And throw it over here.
eats both of
I
you.
don't want it.
Yeah.
Are you guys gonna try and clean it? If you're
I'm gonna
resisting,
get the bucket.
okay.
If he's behind
Can't you
him,
have prestidigitation? Can't you just be like,
I
you're
don't-
clean?
Uh,
I don't have press.
Without prestidigitation.
Alright.
It's a damn
I'll say you guys can either each roll a dex, or just one with advantage, and Usk, you can roll a dexterity to try and
Do you
avoid
wanna
being
roll-
cleaned.
What's your dex looking like? Mine's actually pretty good.
mine's only +1.
Mine's +3.
So you
Bath time? As Usk kind of like,
Well, yeah, we're distracting him.
Yeah.
like
So
you're
distracting
kind of
him with
getting
the
him
mop.
towards the edge of the
Yeah,
boat,
exactly.
and he's like,
and he's rolling with advantage.
5,
30,
12, 15. That's 18.
As you're like stabbing towards, and the whole bucket of water just goes like, some of it gets your shoulder, but most of it misses, and then eventually Usk is able to like dip and like bucks it downstairs like.
Clean yourself up!
And you see the like top of his head just like disappear.
Echo suit.
The cartoon, like legs, like running.
Take some snaps of Lucian after he tries to cut the bucket.
Yeah, narrowly avoiding the jaws of this giant crocodile creature. You kind of like throw the bucket of water like shh, just barely a little bit of the shoulder.
I just look at Lucian.
You didn't distract him long enough.
Pushing you towards the edge now.
The look at
Let's not be hasty.
Go to bed.
Bed, and you're staying up? Okay. So 5 of you guys head down and begin to, start your resting rituals or what have you, and whatever people do. But you're still atop deck, Timdale. You will notice that Cruel eventually comes up top as well and kind of like goes over Zabra. They have an exchange, and before he heads to the top of the crow's nest.
They're having an exchange?
Yep.
Where am I in relation?
Well, Zovra is steering the ship, so Cruel comes over to her and goes up to the top part to have a conversation with her before she kind of like begins to point. But if you'd like,
Be like mopping closer towards them.
okay, roll me a perception check.
Oh, Matt, for
Oh, it's gonna
just
be.
for saying,
She's gonna
while I
play
was
Baron.
in the
Oh,
chaos
no.
of chopping bodies, I was collecting
If he's
some
if
bones to...
Cruel's in the
I figured,
first
yeah.
line, she can pretend to be Baron. Cruel can be Cloud.
I think.
No, not on that roll.
Too obvious.
I triple from the bomb. I got a 1.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a quick exchange, but you see some pointing, and then kind of like she points up, and he kind of like
I'm like following like the pointing, like looking at her like.
very slowly like walks as he comes down the stairs.
Yeah. Yeah.
As he comes down the steps and kind of passes by you, Tim
Crawl.
begins to climb up.
Times.
Small team.
Small tin. That's what it was. Small tin.
Climbs up and begins to just gaze out, as he does.
As he does. Yeah.
The wind throwing. So, since you're staying up, be a Constitution saving check to avoid some exhaustion.
Oh no.
Oh, you,
And that's a 6.
Okay. All right. So,
Exhaustion. No.
everything.
Just ability checks.
There's some bad rolls happening over on that side.
I know. Well, I had a great few, but
Yeah, thanks for jinxing it for yourselves. I appreciate it.
That's why I'm trying to only get into
Transfer
social
of power.
conversations.
Transfer of power.
Please, I need it.
No, we're taking it.
Yeah, we're taking it? Finally, God.
you did roll 18. That's good.
Bob out it.
I just need to just only try to persuade and deception people, and then I'll be
Jim and
fine.
I cannot afford it because we're about to get massacred.
True say.
Just remembered the name of the movie that I forgot last week.
Oh my God.
It was in Tacto. It's like the way you transfer luck through touch.
Ooh, cool.
Yeah, it's great.
Oh well, we're about to do that. So let me talk.
So, well, I'll get to that.
Oh, okay.
But we will begin starting with Kushagra as you curl up into your hammock,
Well, I lick myself clean first.
licking
Now
yourself
that-
clean
now that we're
first.
Keeping track of our
Our
cleanliness.
cleanliness and our appearance.
Yeah, I give myself a fur bath.
Okay. Getting the whole leg up at points, proper proper cat cleanings. It's one of those like such an awkward stretch. It's like,
Aaron
oh
looks
god.
over. Oh god.
All my toes and claws are
In the
extended.
Yeah, like doing the full. Oh, it's not good.
Are you
But
polydactyl as well?
Oh my
You have
God.
mittens?
You have thumbs.
no, he
He has
has
thumbs.
thumbs.
Yeah, you can open doors and things.
Extra
Normal hands with gloves.
Please.
Why is he do the dagger?
That's why you picked.
Ah, damn it! I just have paws. He just keeps dropping them immediately.
It's like,
Thud. That one went 2 feet. You saw it.
He's not. Oh, you all
But eventually, sleep does overtake you, and you begin to dream. In your dream, you dream of combat, and you are struck with feelings of fear and panic. Your hands tremble as two angry men set upon you with their swords drawn, charging towards you. You feel you want to run, but you cannot move. You draw for a dagger, pulling it forth, but it is only a handle, and the blade is gone.
Typical.
An immense stress sets upon you as the men storm toward you. A sudden burst of adrenaline surges through you in that moment, and you quickly dart backward, away from the charging men. You leap back and back and back farther still as the men grow smaller and smaller in the distance.
Oh, sure.
And eventually morning comes and you would wake.
Yeah, no, I'm just starting to write stuff.
Usk, as sleep begins to fall upon you,
I'm going to.
you dream as well. In your dream, you are swimming through a great body of water. You look around. It feels strange because you know you have only one eye now, but you can see through both in this dream. As your eyes scan the vast body of the water around you, it is blank and lifeless and silent. You look up to the surface and begin to swim toward it. As you do, you see the bottom of a large ship. It floats still in this vast area, and you swim closer still before you see yourself swimming alongside it. You also see several dark creatures who look on toward you, swimming toward the ship with demonic faces of malice. They shriek to you, their screams penetrating your ears, but it does not alert the Usk of which you look upon. The creatures begin to claw toward the Usk you see, him unaware of this impending danger. You call out to yourself with the last of your breath and see yourself turn and meet your gaze with one shining iron eye. Barrett. Again, sleep also takes you and you begin to dream. In your dream, a fire warms you in the night as you stand amongst friends. You know them well. The air is quiet, and only the crackling of the burning fire breaks the unbearable silence. You look at your friends around the fire, and each of them is sad and clutching various wounds that bleed fresh still. You are tired, but feel a duty to replace this dreary atmosphere with song and reach for your lute. As you do, one calls to you, "Barrett, can you help me with this?" Before another also calls to you, saying the same. The voices become overwhelming as they trample over one another, and you feel the neck of your lute in your fingers as you clench around it, clutching it in desperation. You pull and pull, but the instrument does not move. It does not come free. And the voices calling for help repeat over and over and over and become unbearable in your mind before the lute suddenly pulls free and you pluck a single chord that strikes and breaks the voices, and they suddenly and abruptly stop. Lucian,
Yes.
as you meditate into your trance, you feel a breeze flow through your long hair and the warmth of sun shine upon your face. You hear the swiping sounds of metal through thick, hot air, as if cutting the very fibers of it with each swipe. You feel the weight of a sword in your arm and the leather of its grip in your hand. The blade sings in the air in rhythm with each cut, as a song sings in your head. You see beyond your blade a council of elven nobles looking upon you. They point to you all at once, and your song ceases and your blade goes still. You try to move, but you cannot, and you feel yourself at their mercy, their eyes glowing with arcane power. One stands and walks toward you, the blade in your hand clenched tightly still. This elf draws forth a dagger, and you feel your body tighten as you try to move still but cannot. The elf walks to you closer and closer as you fight against this paralysis before he lunges at you with the dagger. Davina, you also dream. Well, meditate. You hear a voice. It is long and quiet. Hard to hear, though you understand it in a deeply spiritual sense. You know it well, and it knows you. You have spent many years hearing this voice, and would recognize it anywhere. You look around and see black stone all around you. Massive arcing pillars of carved black stone form endlessly upward all around you. Amongst them you see a creature. It is a humanoid, and it has its back turned to you, standing far across the floor from you. The voice calls, and you understand that it wants this creature. It wants its soul, its essence. You hear whispers in your ear of this voice, and appearing over the creature you see a cloaked figure, skeletal and feminine. It hovers above the creature, its arms pressing onto this creature's shoulders. You feel the cold embrace of death at your fingertips, and you point at this creature. Tyndale, as you are taking over the evening, and you're mopping, let's say, and you begin to sigh with exhaustion. You kind of lean heavily on the mast with the mop in your hands. And you kind of feel your eyes begin to close before you trying to fight. Before your eyes shut, and you hum a melody as you feel your hands begin to work the edges, and you feel a small object within them. Your eyes see only a wall of wood inches from them and all around you. You glance up and see an opening and hear voices from outside. The voices are friendly to you, and it fills you with warmth and joy. Your smile grows wider as you hum and work away with your hands. You notice after a long time that the noises from above have halted and all is quiet. You look up to see, and you see Cassian, her eyes wet with tears. You see behind her a formless shadow and the glint of a blade. A moment of panic sets upon you, and you reach up out of the barrel holding an object in both hands, the one of which you've been working and laboring over tirelessly. You feel yourself reaching and reaching to save Cassian, and all the while your eyes have not left hers, as suddenly she winks at you, knowingly, and a smile, grin, crawls across her lips. And then all of you wake. You realize you fell asleep, and it is morning. As you hear the kind of water hitting the boat, bringing us into after day.
You're the exact same card, by the way.
Whoa.
Just want to point that. I shuffled this one.
Wow. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
It means whatever that card means, it wants to be heard.
In the meantime, though, you guys all will level up to level 2.
I did it, mama.
So we will roll for hit dice. A 1 and a 2 is a reroll.
Let's do it.
Coming back after the break, we're going to start with Kushagra coming up. He wakes up a little bit earlier, just with in mind, coming fresh up out of this dream state. You would like to?
Come up out of the hatch and really subtly try to just poke my head around, see what I see on top deck. Like, are those knights currently there?
They aren't currently yet. So as you come up, what you see is like Paulus isn't actually up there. So Cassian and the other lady, who I'm not going to look at her name right now because I don't know what it is, are like going down the stairs to go and make the changeover, and Zorva is still at the helm right now, kind of looking to see, if Skippy's going to be coming up anytime soon. You see Tyndale kind of like slumped and half asleep, kind of like doing a little Tyndale sleep, but it's fairly quiet on top deck right now. Cruel is actually climbing down and going to return to his quarters right now as well.
How do these hatches work? Like, is it like a thing that
swings open to the side.
Okay.
As you come up. It's just going to push it over.
As I swing it open,
You've done it many times.
I'm going to try and slip out without being noticed by Zobra, but I'm keeping an eye on Zobra. Like, she's looking
quite
great.
tired because she's been sailing for like 14,
That's
16
why I'm gonna try and
hours.
slip out and see if I can tell if she notices me or not.
All right, roll me, pardon me, a stealth check.
Stealth check.
And since she's tired,
22.
okay,
Oh no, the lock.
22 is pretty good.
I heard lock minus
So as you kind of like,
force.
you don't even make a noise as you lift it up, it just
And I'm
very subtly put it back down. You see Zorva kind of like, you take that moment to kind of slip in underneath her gaze to kind of to the
door,
edge
yeah,
where the
like,
door
yeah,
is.
underneath, and I'm gonna take out my little folded pack of thieves' tools.
Okay.
I'm gonna
You look behind and all you see is like Timdale just kind of like sleeping. You have some time.
crack that lock. Is it? Wait, I'm gonna check if it's locked first. Yeah.
It is locked as you kind of like give a small tug. Door is locked.
Hold up. Try and pick that up.
All right.
Hesitation is worrying. Surprise.
I just need to look at these DCs.
So, what is a sleight of hand check for picking locks?
It's actually a dexterity check.
Going into the captain?
I know.
It's not a sleight of hand check.
It's dexterity check. Yeah.
Why not? Why not?
Dex is slate of hand.
Why does it always roll a 2?
Plus
9.
That's pretty good.
still really
Plus
good.
9, but as you're kind of like slipping them in, trying to be as quiet as possible, you feel the lock stick a little bit, and you nearly bend your tool before you're like, oh shit. You want to try again?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Cover has not been blown. This other die.
As you kind of like pull them free and reset yourself,
Traitor die. You can go over there.
I'll roll another perception for
We need
Zorva.
a dice jail.
All of them might die or trade.
Sorry. am I
Your
rolling
stealth
another
still
stealth?
stands.
Okay. But I'm rolling dexterity check.
Trying again for the lock.
Oh, I used my so I used my thieves' tools check the first time. So the like when you take expertise, you're allowed to add it to either a skill or your skills tool proficiency.
Yes, you can
check.
add your proficiency. So that's
So is it just a straight dexterity, or is there actually a thieves' tools check?
no, it is a dexterity check for picking locks, but you can add your proficiency because you're using your tools, right? Just let me double check it.
Yeah.
I looked this up a fair bit, but
Because like in the
yeah,
description,
it's a
of expertise, it says
dexterity thieves tool. So you're using your thieves tools. If you have expertise, you
can
obviously
add
double
that,
your
okay.
proficiency.
Alright.
So it would be +4. So it'd be +9.
Yeah, okay, I just
Exactly
wanted to
right.
make sure I wasn't doing that wrong.
No, you're good. That's why it's a dexterity, not a sleight of hand, because you're using tools.
Right. Okay. Yeah. 9 plus 9 is 18 on that one.
Okay.
Yes.
As you kind of like recorrect the tools for a moment, looking around, you see Timdale kind of like her eyes like flutter open for a moment before she kind of like takes her arms, just like reach out. And you're like, oh, whatever.
Shadow mopping.
Yeah.
Strange.
As you kind of like pushing in, and you hear this,
That's my dream.
Oh.
you realize you've gotten all the pins, and the lock is loose now.
Yeah.
As you begin to turn it,
Open the door, waiting for an alarm.
you opening it. Okay.
Yeah, just a crack. Anything you shake? I haven't noticed anything like on the multiple times I've been through this door, so I'm gonna swiftly step in and close the door behind me.
Okay. Roll me a stealth check.
Dirty 20.
Nice.
Stealthy little cat.
Disadvantage, man. She's be sleepy. You kind of
Might be encouraged. Just for courage.
slip yourself in and very quietly shut the door behind you. You're in her quarters alone.
The chest that has the object, is it disturbed in any way? Or is it?
Looks the same as it always does.
I'm gonna go try to open it.
Okay. You pull on it, it is locked.
Gonna do my thing.
Nice.
Crack that lock.
Roll me another dex check.
Come on, baby.
I'm gonna blow the chip up.
It's 18 plus 9, so.
So
It
good.
was ideal.
So as you put your tools into the lock and go to work, you find this lock is a little more difficult, a little more intricate than the last one, but your dexterity and your fingers find the right keys, and you hear the kind of like click of the last pin before you unlock.
Swing it open. Do I see the bundle there?
You see a bundle.
Is it
Still there.
The bundle, like the bundle of cloth wrapped in the.
It is not wrapped anymore as tightly as it was. It is loose. The rope is kind of pulled around it, but it doesn't have a lock on it anymore. And amongst it is a ton of gold, silver, copper, and platinum.
So I unraveled it. I'm gonna feel the bundle. Is there like a distinct object? Because I held the bundle before. Like, is there an?
It's still pretty heavily wrapped. Still, so it just is like a long, about maybe this long, kind of like almost a tube, like a camping roll or so like that. But it's still bound up. The rope is pulled around it, but there's no lock on it anymore.
I'm gonna push all the gold aside and pull the bundle out and try to. I'm just gonna unwrap it and see what's inside.
Okay, so as you kind of like unwind the rope, quietly unroll the blanket.
I open the box.
Eventually, you pull forth, and the first thing you see is the glint of this blade. Hold on, I actually need the written description here.
I thought this was like a
rock. I thought it was a rock.
bundle. Like a little bundle.
Well, I mean, you didn't
Bundle of fun.
distinguish exactly what.
A bun in the oven, you said?
Baby.
Communicate.
You see a very thin, strong blade forged with a hardened steel. Shows a glint of emerald green in the reflection of the light that comes through the window that meets this fine edge. The handle and hilt is encrusted with gold, and a large emerald eye sits in the center. As it sits in the center, you see it kind of like fix into your eyes.
As soon as that happens, I put the cover back over.
Roll me a quick wisdom saving throw.
The eye of Sauron.
I've gone too far.
That's my fault.
Just wanted to see. Hey, curiosity got the cat. Whatever.
Curiosity killed the cat.
God, my heart's beating so much more than it was a second ago. 13. Your instinct, but your hands just hold this blade as your eyes are staring widely at it, and you hear whispers in your head. You do not understand them. Oh, nat 20.
Oh no!
Before you feel them. And you find yourself lifting this item closer to you, coveting it. You do not want to let it go. Your hand instinctively grabs it by the hilt, and you clench it. It feels very good. You hear in your head, yes.
I have to protect this.
Blood Kushagara.
It's not safe.
Thirst. And you want to keep this.
Is that it? I only want to keep it?
You want to
Seems
keep
like
this
crying
item.
out for blood, is it not?
At the moment, it seems okay, but
That's because you're alone. As soon as you see little Tim boy.
That's all of her blood.
Oh, kebab.
Am I able to? I want to take it out and put it in my cloak.
okay.
I'm going to take a similar sized object. Is this a rapier or is it like?
It is a.
What shape?
Oh, it's a dagger. We're good guys.
It is a saber.
A saber. Okay, I'm going to take
So
a
it's
short sword.
like kind of a long, thin, curved blade.
Yeah. I'm going to take out a short sword out of my pack.
It's about the
And,
same size.
And I'm going to wrap up the short sword and put the rope around it.
Okay.
Place it back in the
Put
chest.
it back in.
You were
And
the
I put
one
the
we
gold
could trust.
over top. Yeah, but it called out to me. And it must be mine now.
Oh yes,
It must
she will be mine.
It's mine now. I call dibs.
Who do you think he had less willpower than me?
He He was the one that was always level-headed and always.
And now he's the big
Aware.
bad, the big bad evil guy.
Was.
He's a
I
big
was
bad wolf.
I was worried that someone else already swapped it. I thought that.
Okay,
That's
yeah,
not
sure.
an idea.
So here you are swapping it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was worried someone's did what I
No one else knows this is happening. Just Kushagra.
No,
I mean,
absolutely.
it's got me now.
So as you wrap up this short sword, place the bundle into the chest
I
amongst
still
the gold and
believe that
such.
I am righteous in my actions. I still think I'm just
He
protecting
doesn't want
other
to be
people.
undone.
It's like the addict saying like, "Oh, I'm gonna take this drug from my friend so that he doesn't have to do it anymore." But then I'm fucking shooting
Who
that
would you
shit
justify your
Yeah.
actions?
as soon as.
Us or you?
Yeah.
Thanks, Paul.
Okay, so I'm gonna
Thanks,
relock
Shane.
the lock on the chest. Are you able to do that with the?
I would say be the same role. I would say you're basically doing the opposite. You close it. Oh yeah, I guess so. Yeah, you just close it. Never mind. How do locks work? You just click it. All right, it's locked. So you refasten the lock and you kind of like
Oh my god.
shut the
I'm
chest.
gonna keep it on my person.
We're supposed to arrive.
Actually, do I even have like a? I have my pack on me. I'm gonna take the bundle and fasten it, put it in my pack with the rest of my things.
Okay.
And I'm gonna sit in the room and I'm gonna wait for Zelbra to come in because I want to have a word with her.
Okay. So a few minutes will go by, of course. So the rest of you guys are waking up.
Okay, I have to read this.
As Timdale, you're the first one on the top of the deck, and you kind of hear footsteps kind of passing by as people, and especially the heavy knights, kind of like trundle up the stairs. The rest of you guys do awake as well. First things morning, what would you like to be trying to do?
I'm gonna get up and go check on Lucian.
Okay.
I'm going to. So, do I have a point of exhaustion, or did I get a well? Good
You just fell
night's
asleep,
sleep?
actually.
I did. Okay. All right. Cool.
So you do get a long rest.
That one spell slot. She back. Oh,
She
I guess
back.
we would have been back already.
Yeah, I'm
Okay,
gonna go
so
check
yeah.
on Lucian to make sure that nobody got him in the night since
Okay.
I was in the
Lucian, you're dead. No, I'm just kidding. You go in. It's just a massacre. Just a massacre. I'm just kidding.
There's blood all over the room.
No,
There is definitely blood all over the bed and stuff. Are you top bunk?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're probably covered in blood too, because
Oh,
he
you
dripped
probably-
onto you.
yeah.
As you look, there's just a huge red stain in the middle, and it's just dripping onto your belly.
Are you happy?
I open the door. Jesus Christ!
Fine.
And then I pop up, I didn't hear the commotion, and I peek through the little glory hole.
The victor's home. I am fine, I swear. Bloody. Oh, stop. Yes, yes. You.
No pun intended.
It was a little startling. I thought you might have got.
Not quite.
Present company excluded. I don't really trust the elves.
I wholeheartedly agree.
Also, I did not have a chance to share this last night. But I did overhear the elves, and they were onto us.
I fear they are as well.
And
It
I
literally took me by the hand.
do think that they're planning an attack.
Yes.
Once not on the ship.
Don't worry, buddy. Depending on how much money they offer, I got your back.
Thank you for your kind words to soothe my worries here. No, I fear I might be able to make a dash for it. Or if not,
And swim.
or if not,
Well,
potentially.
Usk is going to eat good regardless.
I don't know. I don't. I'm a little worried.
For the sake of it, there was probably 3 good corpses. The other ones made their way over the side of the boat before that you could have fixed some weapons out of. Yep.
Since there was 3, I made a club, a javelin, and a shield.
Nice.
shield?
Freaking
Does it
love
look
it.
like ribcage?
And like bits of skull and skin, and like it's pretty nice.
The
Pretty
the club
nice.
is just a skull on top of a femur.
Yes.
No!
touch
I
it.
have a family.
Please have a little
Don't
push
do
button.
it.
to the-
There's just like bones propped up next to
I can
the
only do one guy.
bed, like still bits of like muscle and blood all over them. They're nasty looking, but they
This room's
weaponized
bad.
bones. Yeah, it definitely smells like blood of death.
Mina would love
I know, I'm like, they're like,
bug switch.
Ah,
no, Uski and I are going to be good friends, I think.
I do believe so.
It's like the most I've just heard him talk.
As I'm, if I like suddenly jolt awake by like the stomping of the knight's footsteps, I'm gonna jolt awake and just continue to mock as if I was never asleep ever.
okay.
So we're also doing the exact same thing.
Good
Good job, there, Jim.
So eventually Skippy does come up and relieve her, and she kind of like passes him over. Ah, very good, Skippy. I will retire for the night. Clear sailing. It's a bit cloudy, so be careful. Watch for storms. We are nearly there. Stay the course. We should potentially be able to see land shortly. Wake me if we do. She kind of clop, clop, clop. You hear her footsteps coming down the stairs. Are you just like sitting in the middle of the room, or?
I'm gonna stand in the corner. So if the doors.
I'll say place yourself. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like to think of the entire time he's waiting.
Because the door is
he's
still
sitting in different
unlocked,
spots.
or did you lock the door?
Yeah.
He's just like
I'm gonna be sitting in this chair
Like,
in the corner there.
sitting
Okay.
in the middle
So
of the
as she comes in,
Oh, it feels
she
stupid.
goes over
To
to
go
her
sit in.
desk, which is over
I'm gonna
here.
try laying on the bed.
Her desk is here. That's where the chest is as well.
That's on the table. It's not
Yeah, I'm gonna be tucked into the corner there. My anticipation, like I'm
lays on his belly.
I'm anticipating that she'll walk in and close the door behind her, and then see me with the door closed.
Potentially. She's pretty tired. Are you trying to be sneaky in the corner, or just sitting there?
Well, I mean, I'm sitting there silently in the shadow, like no light.
All right. I'll set a DC
Sneaking,
for
yeah,
myself then.
sneaking, Yeah.
Um,
I would rather myself announce my presence than her see me, so I'd be sneaking.
and the rest of you guys are kind of getting awake, and you're mopping, and you see Zara go into her room. And she kind of like nods at you, and then like very tiredly like wipes her eyes a little bit, and then begins to go towards her door, and she kind of like goes towards to unlock it, and I forgot to relock the door.
Do I notice this happening?
I would say, yeah, roll me perception actually.
Cover, she has been blown. She has been a boom. We must escape.
17.
Not fair.
Yeah, you see her flinch for a moment. She kind of like, you hear her say under her breath, like, I thought I locked. I must have been so tired. Before she eventually opens up the door. Is there anything you want to do?
I wouldn't find that
She
question.
kind of like
She was
opens the
tired.
door and closes it, and you hear the kind of like lock behind
I'm
it.
gonna, like hang out by the door. Because that is weird, but I wouldn't find it so weird that I would be like, halt.
Hold
Don't go
citizen.
inside.
Yeah.
Door closes. Kashaga, you see her kind of like close the door, turn around, and takes her jacket off and kind of like throws it on the chair by the desk before beginning to take her actual clothes off.
Zovra,
She kind of like,
forgive the intrusion, but I must have a word.
Kushagra, what are you doing in my quarters?
There is something I must ask of you about the conversation you had with the princess.
What do you want to know?
I fear the safety of this object that you are keeping in your chest.
The object is safe with me.
Is it? Did anybody lay eyes upon it?
The princess insisted on seeing this object, and so we looked upon it.
There was no detriment to this
Seems a
proliferation of this object.
it was a sword, if you must know. Very peculiar. A very large eye in its center.
There was no detriment to either you or the princess.
Not to the princess, but I did hear voices. I could not understand them. They filled my head. The princess said we should keep it safe until we arrive, in which she will take guard of this object from there on. She insists. I hope you understand that the weight of the royals is beyond you or I in this manner. She comes over to the table and sits at the table. I should tell you, this trip, I am paid very well to do what I do. The fleet itself was merely a convoy or what have you, but our ship is the most vital. It arrives at the heart. The princess is to take rule over the Castle Avondale when we arrive. There has been far too many complications for that to be gone swiftly, and she has decided to take her royal authority over my ship. But as far as you and I are concerned, I am still in charge of this voyage.
You surprise me, Zobra.
As for this object, it is safe in my custody, but it is out of my hands.
I had hoped that you would not be so easily bought by the nation of Avondale. And this is disappointing to hear. The Heart of Mora remains neutral ground, does it not?
Well, for now, though the lines have been drawn, it has been a few years since I've been here, but the nation now holds 2 full cities in its war against the Rodolph. I do believe that Heartkeep is growing ever still, but the terrain divides them both, and there is lines being drawn. If we are to survive, as I intend to, we must take advantage of whatever we can. This opportunity came to me, they asked, and I accepted.
Of course, yes. Forgive me if I've offended you, Zelbra. I hold the utmost respect for you and this ship. You have delivered us to safety, and my faith in that fact was not misplaced. I am not so quick to accept the position of power that the princess claims that she has. But when it comes to this ship, I will respect her wishes.
Kushagra, you should know that not all who dwell on the Heart of Mora appreciate the nation's will of dominance over it. It should remain a neutral place. It is of great power there, and no one should control the Heart of Mora. There are some who oppose it. Search out my sister when you arrive. She aids those in secret. But do not put her in trouble. I plan on staying there myself with her before returning to the mainlands with hope.
Should I run into any trouble on the Heart of Mora, I will be sure not to drag it towards your family or yourself. But thank you for the connection, I appreciate it.
Atanda is not a fighter that I am. But she has social connections, and she has a way of her. This is her advantage in life, and it is not mine. It will be good to see her.
Well, I
Should
will
we
leave you
arrive?
to your rest, your well-earned rest, and I promise to not intrude again on your private quarters. Forgive me. I bow my head and wait for her command to leave.
Very well. Seems as I do not have the control over my passengers as I suspected. However, this is a sobering experience, and I will be sure to keep a closer guard on my quarters if possible. I do appreciate your help thus far, but as for your intrusion into my quarters, my private quarters, you need only ask in the future.
Of course, Captain.
Carry on, Kushagra. We are hopefully a day away.
I head to the door.
You hear the door lock behind you. Before Azavra begins her rest.
Peek into my bag. Look at the eye. Continuing downstairs.
I am so concerned.
Tyndale sees Kushagra walking out of the captain's quarters. Hello.
Who is this Spider-Man 3 looking Kushagra right now?
Bangs her over his eye.
He's got a little more pep in his step.
It's the eyeliner. It really,
It's really the
streak into the Kushagra.
So are you going to your quarters?
That's right. I'm needed on the top deck, right?
Technically, there's only 5 positions that are actually needed top deck during the day, but
Lucian's hands are so burnt.
They might less.
they've healed now. You've long rested, yeah.
Yeah.
You'll heal 1 hit point.
Are you gonna come back upstairs then?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna head back to my quarters for the moment, just
Okay.
until, because I feel like it's still early. Like what
It's
what
like-
time roughly is it?
Like 5, 6 in
Oh,
the
wait.
morning right now. As Skippy has come to relieve Kushagra, and she's kind of like, "Morning, Kushagra! Where? What? Where were you standing there? You sneaky cat, you!
Rascally rabbit.
You rascally cat!" Heading back down.
The
Okay.
process.
So the rest of you guys are still like waking up as Kushagra comes into the room as well, and you guys are getting up and about. Those of you who have tasks aboard the ship, are you performing them today?
Yep.
Okay. Aye.
And I guess I'll keep a watch.
Are you watching?
Why don't you watch and you go to sleep?
I'm not exhausted.
She fell
Oh
asleep.
yeah.
She got to sleep on the bed.
I'll be
I'm gonna say that.
You wanna be
anyway.
Rick?
I don't know that
If you're gonna watch, I'll rig. I'll rig and I'll jig in it.
So you're going to the front to watch?
Like my hostage, who's probably dead. It's fine.
Weren't you up all night?
Yeah.
Hugo?
Roll me a roll me a medicine check as she dangles.
I'm going to check on Lucille as well.
Okay. So Usk,
You're in
It's just like,
I'll say you can roll with advantage because Usk is there as well. Or Usk could roll too. It doesn't matter.
okay, well,
I'll say advantage for the sake of it.
alright.
As you guys look over the bow of the ship and you see Lucille just swinging.
lifelessly.
She looks pretty fucking dead right now.
Fuck yeah.
We've already looted her, haven't we?
She was alive when I was out there, right?
I don't think you.
You saw her swinging, but you couldn't tell if she was alive or not.
I was watching the lady.
If you're pulling her up. But from looking, she just looks like she's just swinging loosely. She looks pretty fucking dead.
I'm pulling her up. Pulling
Okay,
her back on.
pull her up.
Eats a bag of bones.
Do you want to do a medicine check?
Um, 22 again.
Does she have the will to live one more time? 14. What's her con?
Did you catch over sisters?
Attenda.
Attendal, yeah, I think I did actually.
Plus 0.
She works at a.
She is very much dead at the moment.
At the moment.
First fire port.
You can try to revive her if you like.
No, I think I'm over it. Can I just like
She's just like,
do like a double
Sorry,
check
she
to make
owns
sure we
the
didn't miss
fated
anything
breast.
on her person?
sure, roll me an investigation check.
Fated breast is how it was fated.
Oh.
And Attenda.
Yeah.
It was fated.
Fated.
It's fated.
Fated.
Alright. Usk.
She has been cleaned,
Oh, the
pockets.
face,
Oh, there it is.
You just like pat her a couple times. You're like, That cat is
She's pretty
dead.
petrified right now.
Her tongue is like dangling out of her mouth. She's like totally fucking.
I'm just like,
Oh my god.
Is
it's finally a moment. Have at it.
Yeah.
Sven up top?
Sten, at this point, yeah, he's climbing up to the top of his crow's nest, kind of like, hey, Oski.
Stan, get down here.
Typical middle manager.
Swings down. How'd the kitty fare? Smacks her in the face.
Jesus.
She smacks again. She ain't waking up.
No.
She's expired for 9 lives.
Davina? Are you sure?
Yeah. I think she's had about 14 lives, actually.
Well,
Thou shall not waste.
so's the fate of a thief, I suppose.
I know, right?
Gets what she deserves.
Stan,
Fist bump.
wanna go fishing?
For what?
Things that almost got me.
Oh, I hope those aren't still on the boat.
We got this. Now we got this.
Just hit level 2 and
Everyone thinks they're a god now.
Hey,
I am in your zone.
Ah. That couldn't hurt. Should we dangle her over?
yeah.
Let's let her drag on the side. Maybe she'll catch a big shark or something. Haven't had shark for a good while.
No.
I got some rope. Pulls the rope,
I know.
ties it around
She's already on
her
rope.
carcass, and
Fishing with catfish.
throws Lucille over the side of the boat. Her body just splashing.
We didn't try to revive her, right?
They like slip off the skin.
She was far too neglected for far too long.
Not trying to.
Well, a lot of stuff happened, okay?
There's no revival.
When you're dead for that long, you need like a spell for it. She's been neglected for too long.
Look, I was asleep.
You guys had duties. It makes sense. As you hear the
We were also attacked.
Sten kind of like, well, here's hoping. Are you gonna keep an eye there, Uski?
Oh, yeah.
All right, watch for bites. I gotta get back to the top here. We should be hitting land soon.
Call you if anything bites.
So you're keeping an eye, and who are my riggers? Uno, dos, tres. Okay, so riggers, you do me athletics. Perception for you, and morale, Usk. Or are you focusing on the fishing?
17.
Okay. No morale boost, but roll me a perception for the fishing for sake. Actually, no, yeah, that makes sense. Actually, we can call it survival, actually, for the sake of it.
20.
Nice.
That's dice. There's my riggers.
Now you guys are figuring it out. Little rest goes a long way.
It's fine.
Yeah,
We're at 17
13.
to 12.
13?
Not very
The
good.
9.
Okay.
It's alright.
You guys roll a 20 and
Actually,
a
pull me.
Yeah,
I do go flying.
12? Okay.
It's like
I'm just around the pole.
There's no counterweight.
Yeah, I'm just around the pole over and over again.
Hey, I'm helping. You're going like between the knight's legs on occasion. So Kashaga, you would be alone in your room at this point, I suppose.
Yeah, I'm kind of struggling as to. Even Kashaga doesn't really know what to do. I'm like kind of high on the thrill of like having gotten away with it, and also terrified because I know at any moment somebody could take this object away from me. Also, mechanically, how is this like infatuation being treated? Like trying to roleplay it, but, like
Yeah.
what is the actual pull over my mind that it has?
You don't know yet, but you have some time with this object if you'd like to try to get to know it.
Okay, so that's what I mean when I'm saying like, how aware of my situation am I? Like, am I still wary of this object, or am I treating it as if am I broken already by it?
Yo.
You feel this tremendous need to not throw it away,
So
but you
I'm
do
not
understand
piercing and I'm
that
protecting it.
that it
I
it
still-
has control over your
Identify
action
as
right
a
now. Like every time you feel like you want to throw it away, if you grab at it, it's like, no, I
So-
must keep
no.
this.
In that case, I'm gonna draw on like again drug addicts and say like, I'm not at the stage where Like I'm still at the stage where I want to be. I don't want to do it out in the open, and
it does control me.
Exactly. I still feel like I'm in control, and I'm like, this is dangerous, and I need to be careful.
Okay.
I'm going to keep it I'm not going to look at it as yeah. I'm not going to
This
look
is
at
your
it
brain?
blatantly.
This is your brain on sword.
Sword drugs. All right.
I sword drugs.
So, knowing your intention in that regard, roll me a wisdom saving throw. As you are alone in your quarters for a number of hours, as everyone else is working atop deck. I'll come back to what happens atop deck in a second here.
Plus 2. 15.
There's a few moments where you find yourself like, I just want to have one more peek at the sword, and the eye and your eye kind of gaze at each other. And there's a familiarity to this eye. It's strange to you. You don't understand exactly why this seems familiar to you, but it's like you've seen it before. Before you kind of like, no, can't do it. Can't look at you. Can't look at you. You hear the whispers, kind of like, Kushagra. We can be one. Quench my thirst. But you relent under your own willpower. So, atop the deck, keeping a good eye, an okay eye. You notice the day is relatively cloudy and overcast. Seems to be more of like that gray sky kind of day. The wind is fairly strong and pulling the ship along fairly well. Usk, watching for any bites along. After several hours, as like the day continues on and you guys are sailing, you're like, oh man, you get kind of bored for a little bit. You start looking around before you see the rope kind of like jerk a couple times. Do you want to pull it up?
Stern, we got a bite.
Swings down.
Pull it, Usky, pull it. I got the other side here.
So roll me an athletics check with advantage because Stan is going to help you out.
I'm just leaning there like.
Yeah, you're at the front, yeah.
Saw that face. What's that face?
Wow, it's going to be gross.
15.
18, all right. So you managed to like pull and reef. He's like, not too hard, it'll rip in half. As you measure it up and begin to pull, and you see this massive shark kind of like attached to half of the body pulling up. He's like, don't let it go, pull fast. And you pull it aboard the ship as Lucille's body... As you get into the edge, the lower half of the body rips from the tension of the rope and the tension of this shark biting it, as the shark body and half of her legs and everything go with it, splash into the water, and you guys feel the weight kind of suddenly jerk, and the torso of Lucille just like flings up and flies into your face, like, and smacks you in the chin. She is torn in half at this point.
But is she alive though?
I really wanted her to live, but she clearly has
Do a
not.
medicine check.
I've only did a couple medicine checks since then,
It's still
and
good. It's still good.
It is really gross, but to you it might be awesome.
Can we all see this?
Shit.
Nice.
That's not good. I think we lost that one, Usky. I don't know if cats are very good bait. See, the problem is that she's too big.
Too delicate.
Well, that was a half a meal for that shark, a lucky bastard.
Half meal for shark. Half meal for me.
You gonna eat this cat?
Meal for you.
2 for me and...
Well,
You'll have...
I suppose no meat needs to go to waste. I don't know how much meat around these bones, but she's all yours, Usky.
He takes that incredibly well.
He wanted her to die anyways. He was gonna throw javelins at her body. Stan is like, he's pretty simple-minded.
Simple players.
well, I mean, somebody may as well clean this up.
Well, I suppose.
You've
Would
been waiting long enough.
have been nice to have some shark, but oh well.
It's what it is.
It is what it is.
Want some
No.
Okay.
No, thank you.
Drink wasn't really offering.
I think she's too clever for my eatings, that's for sure. I like dumb things. I'll eat them any day.
I think the shark was more smart than she was.
Well, perhaps, but
She's doing pretty well.
that'd be a pretty damn smart shark.
Well, he got away. She didn't.
You're right about that, Davida. Popeye. I'm get back to my watch. We could be seeing land soon here. Looks like there might be a storm ahead. We'll see. Shimmies his way up.
Breath of Argo can't cut a break. Catch a break. Discussed.
So,
So very ill during every single storm.
so as the day continues on, everybody roll me perception check.
So you can do perception.
Are you going to be in your room for the whole day, or will you like at some point to come up to top?
Yeah,
I know. I got a 9er. That's a 6er. I got another 20. My
17.
goodness, oh.
20. 21 actually, because I got a plus 1.
I'll come top deck. I want to
Okay.
try and
Niff. My eyes are
look up
closed.
appearances.
Okay. So pretty much, so everyone's on top deck at this point. We'll put you guys where you are for the sake of light
I'm up
and
front.
stuff, wherever you'd like to be, guys. And Zovra is at the helm, or sorry, yeah, Skippy is at the helm right now, actually.
I'm actively making sure that I'm usually within
And the knights are
shot
working
of
as well.
Lucian.
Oh, Kshagra's still in there. So are you coming to top deck as well, Kshagra?
Yes.
Okay, so he'll be on top as well.
Where's a wiki?
Might be worth stacking things at this point.
Should we remove Lucille, who is no longer there? Yeah, get rid of her.
Oh,
She did not survive the journey. Pretty girl.
Fucking brutal. Great model.
no.
Yeah, she had some intention, but oh well.
And pretty well.
Her role is now finished.
God, I love this
Her
ship
watch
so
is
much.
ended.
Her ship has sailed.
Her ship has indeed sailed.
There's probably 2 characters that we lost that we probably missed it.
Easy come, easy
Yeah.
go.
Callie.
So,
Allie's here.
as you guys are sailing, Barrett, Davina, you guys see very far off in the distance, maybe a day or so away, maybe less, you see land. You see mountainous terrain off in the very far distance. Just the kind of silhouette of this very vast island.
Grab Barrett. I'm like, Barrett, am I hallucinating? Look,
I think I see it
do you
too.
see that?
Jen, over to the north bow.
Eh? Land ho! As he calls out, What the heck is that?
As you guys are looking out,
What is it?
the two of you guys who are looking, you see this large winged creature flying in the sky.
GG. Level 2, here's a dragon.
Thousands of miles away before it disappears above the clouds.
Did you see that?
Captain!
That wasn't.
What was that?
Jen, tell me I was hallucinating that.
No, I saw it too. It's a big bat or something. I don't know what the hell that was. Captain! Hey, Captain's trying to sleep there. What the hell is you got screaming about? Land! There's something in the skies! Get the captain!
We can hear all of this.
Oh yeah,
So
it is being sirened around the ship right now.
Looking out and I'm like,
As the knights, everybody comes to the front of the ship to kind of like, what the fuck, what the fuck.
A motherfucking dragon.
What the
thought
dragon? Those are things that myths! What is he talking about?
3 of us seen it.
Scales, wings.
Well, it's impossible to see from here. There's a shadow in the wings and in the sky. It was flying, I swear.
It was big.
It flew.
Flew. That's close enough to a dragon.
It was flying. It was flying this way. Captain.
Zovra comes out. What is the matter?
Well, Captain, there seems to be some sort of flying beast above in the skies here.
As you guys are looking out, and you see the clouds in the sky beginning to darken and thicken as little flickers of lightning begin to
What?
Fun, guys. This is really fun.
Do that.
You see the island begin to disappear as the fog and the clouds begin to thicken. And the captain's over. Not again.
Again.
Pardon, Lord.
What? What do you mean not again?
He says, come again.
What is it?
Make for the storm. We will try to lose the. We try to lose it in the storm.
Make for the storm. What?
Into the storm.
Shaga doesn't know what to do, so he just grabs the closest rope.
It's not attached to anything.
As about an hour or so of you guys sailing towards this storm, eventually you see this winged creature emerge through the clouds again. About 200 or 300 or 400 feet away, it begins to swoop towards the ship, coming in.
I duck down.
Everybody is atop deck right now.
Yep.
As this creature comes swooping in faster than you are able to react, you hear Sten scream. Several individuals above the deck also scream. You see the knights kind of like drawing shields and kind of eyes wide beyond their helms even, kind of like... And this creature swings across the bow of the ship, smashing through the middle mast, knocking Sten, who's atop the crow's nest, down.
Featherfall!
On Sten?
On Stan!
As this creature smashes through the mast, you see the mast splinter into two pieces. Everybody aboard, make me a dexterity saving throw. You cast Featherfall on Stan as he begins to fall towards the deck of the ship and slows
Nat
before
20.
he snaps. Nat 20?
Nat 20!
Nat 20!
17.
17.
13.
13.
No!
Timdell.
No!
It's okay, we have a healer. It's fine.
Kshagra. Nat 20.
With that dice.
Fair. 17. Davina.
Nat 20.
Nat 20. Holy fuck!
Yeah.
3 nat 13.
13,
Right
okay.
here. Right here. Right
So Timdell, as you were just stunned, like you can't move, you're petrified with fear as you see this creature swinging towards the ship, and the mast of the ship comes tumbling towards you, and you are crushed by the mast of the ship. You take.
Okay.
Should have rolled that first. You take 8 points of bludgeoning damage, but you are currently trapped underneath this mast. You guys see Timdell just disappear. Her legs kind of like splinter from side to side. You just see like her legs and her arms from either side of this mast as it crushes on top of her. So the center mast is destroyed right now.
I rush.
And this
over.
creature swings back up into the clouds. You see lightning kind of like as rain begins to wash across the ship. Sorry?
I rush over to where I seen the Timdell get hit and try to start moving it, yelling for someone to help.
I run over as well.
Yep.
Okay, roll me a strength check with advantage because you're being helped.
This is so nice. You saving me. You saving me.
Nat 20.
Oh my god! As you like run across and Davina on the other side of it, you just kind of like you like lift it up over your head. And then like Timdell, you see like just Barrett and his chest is kind of like rippling at the moment as the wind from the storm is like blowing his cloak across.
Oh my god. Anytime there's a storm, Barrett just
He's like all about the storm.
Fedor makes
Yeah,
himself.
she's gonna attack and roll.
As you roll over to the side,
Yeah.
as the next you hear Sten, it's coming back, it's coming back! As this creature coming from the front of the boat, you see flames begin to erupt from its mouth.
That
Everybody atop deck,
is a motherfucking dragon.
roll me dexterity saving throws again.
It will not
Hit.
be nat 20.
Oh, do
It's
it.
gonna be nat 20.
I'm gonna attempt to cast Tasha's Hideous Laughter at it.
21.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay.
Cocked.
Nice. 17.
16.
It's like a 28 or something like ridiculous.
So we're all fine.
A tremendously good save.
Not good. I think that's a 10.
10,
Dexterity 11.
25.
25, 15, 11,
16.
16,
I think I got
21.
18.
Wow, okay. So as this creature is like, you see its chest begin to like light up from the inside before flames begin to torrent out of its mouth towards you. Everybody on the deck covers as best as they can, so you guys will only take half damage as everybody takes 5 points of fire damage as it carpets the entire deck.
So 5 total or 5?
5 total, 5 total. That's already halved, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what he has.
As it swoops across, you see it nick the other sail, not quite destroying it, but just kind of like knocking a few, shredding the mast a little bit, just as it comes in. Zovra screaming as this creature soars across her. She does take a little bit of damage as well, but like everybody takes a bit of damage. But is anybody killed actually? Hold on a second. 20 and a 13. All right. Sten is okay. Everybody's okay. Actually, that was fantastic. They only took a little bit of burning damage. It's like fire is raining across the deck right now.
No, my barrel!
The gunpowder barrel.
This creature soars up into the sky behind the ship.
Don't waste it.
Everybody roll me a perception check as you look the skies to see for this creature. 10.
It's a 23.
23.
15.
15. 16. 23. 18. Okay.
26.
26. So Lucian, Kushagra, Usk, you guys kind of tracking this creature as it disappears behind the ship, and you see it kind of disappear into the clouds, and as the lightning kind of lights up the sky, you see its shadow moving around in flashes, making another swoop towards the ship. You hear Zovra, brace! As it's swooping down, probably 200 or 300 feet away from the ship right now. You see a lightning arc and connect directly into this creature, and its entire body lights up. You see almost the skeleton like as it lights up, and you see it kind of like begin to tumble towards the water before its wings catch itself and it swoops across. You see the water kind of like parting from the wind of this creature, just torrenting down as it swoops low. It looks incredibly hurt from that as it kind of like laborly takes both of its wings and swoops into the storm. It disappears into the clouds. You hear Zobra shriek with just terror, inaudible, illegible, no words essentially, and Skippy is just like crying and down on the deck right now, just like trying not to be killed essentially. And Zobra's like, into the storm! We can lose this thing! It's taken a hit! Drive! Heave! Everybody make me
Everybody make
heave ho! So your athletics for everyone who's watching, you're watching?
I'm watching.
So athletics for 1, 2, 3?
Yeah.
Athletics.
I do,
Yeah.
but I'm stuck in it. Like, I wouldn't.
Okay, I'll say Kashaga's going to help one person, so someone can roll with advantage.
Yeah. Tim's freaking out.
You're not great. Are you on the ropes?
What am I? Yeah. So
Up to you.
What's happening right now?
Jovra is just basically ordering everyone to grab what they can to try and get the sails to move again, but you've lost your central mast. Okay, so you're grabbing a rope.
I'm gonna assist you and give you advantage on
Okay. And rolls?
3.
All system.
2.
You're assisting me.
Oh,
We're doing an athletics check.
athletics, yeah.
We got this.
9.
Oh yes.
Nice.
Not 20 with 2.
And perception for you, Davina, as you're trying to basically call for big waves, call for any debris and things like that in the way.
One, but I have my +1.
Nice.
That ones are just not
12.
You stole my 20, and I took your 1.
The ones, there's like 3. What'd you get again?
Oh, you gave
Oh,
me
you're-
advantage instead, so I got a 9.
Okay, yeah, it's still not very good. Not very good. As you guys are sailing into the storm, the ship is basically going like left, right. There's no clear direction. At some points, it's like straight north. You god, and it's not going super well at the moment right now. And Skippy kind of like he's just screaming, not being helpful at all because he's freaking out. This is not okay.
Now, right?
He's always first mate, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Captain. Jason was the quartermaster. He was in charge of the crew. Yeah. Well, he did a great job of what he wanted, I guess, indirectly. As you guys are sailing into this storm, everybody will roll me Constitution saving throw as well, because this is a super severe storm.
So ill again.
15.
Oh no, I'm not.
15, 15,
21.
That is
21,
16.
16, 19.
7.
Okay,
Sir Timmy.
almost. You had a tough go.
It kind of all that makes sense.
You got smashed by a huge mast, like the battering of the
The
storm.
only reason she knows how to rig is she's on adrenaline right now.
So yeah, eventually the adrenaline just wears, and you find your muscles and you take a point of exhaustion. As about an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours continue on, and you guys are raging through this storm. Eventually, the clouds begin to part. The rain begins to cease. The lightning stops. Zovra, Harga be with us. I did not think that he would be back. Every time. Sten! Right here, Captain! So he kind of like pushes like some broken timber off of himself. Anything? Do you see the island? Davina, what was your roll? 13 for perception? Yeah. No, Captain. Davina, do you see anything? You just see water, sky, nothing at the moment. You're kind of like, fuck. Excuse me. As you guys are coming out of this storm, it is probably about 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, so the day is beginning to fade into an evening. The skies begin to darken. You cannot see the land beyond any longer as you come out of the storm, and eventually the clouds begin to part and you see kind of the starry sky. It's actually a lot calmer now than it was. But you guys are still trying to sail this ship that only has one mast right now, so I need another athletics roll from everyone who's doing athletics. There's 2 masts. The center one is missing, though. It was destroyed.
Well, so you guys are doing it?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna, while they're doing that, while they're kind of rigging up, I'm gonna take this moment to stumble my way over to Davina.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I'm going to.
Easy
I've
enough.
got tears in my eyes.
No, I know. I'm
Like piece of wood like stuck in you, like, oh my god.
I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds.
Okay.
So
Touch.
touch.
11,
15.
15.
The creature you touch regains a number
No,
of
you're not doing-
points
okay.
equal to 1d8 plus my spell cost. Okay.
Not 20.
So,
Jeez. And at 20.
so you get 1 plus. So you get 7 back. Okay. I'll take that.
Well, he took 8, so that's.
No, I took more than that.
Fire damage too. Everybody took fire damage.
You were pretty low.
Oh, you must have been.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you.
Yikes.
Oh, I thought
When you said that it was coming back, I was like,
That's it.
I saw that. I was-
Bye.
goodbye.
But it wasn't anywhere near you, so I couldn't.
No, that's why I'm like, crawling on the deck.
like burnt and bleeding and like bones crushed, like
Yeah.
bruises
Only
across
half the bones
you.
are crushed right now, so-
Only half. I got some good bones now. As you
they're
feel
on the
like
mend-ish.
better.
I kept looking over at HP and seeing that and being like, oh, she's got 15.
No.
What's your max?
That's
I
your
saw it
max.
Too, and I was like, but then I was like, grab the basket. And I was like,
And that's why she would have done that anyway, though.
But since you're not at the front, it'll be Sten trying to see that one.
My boy.
Fantastic.
Can I try? I'm at the front.
Yeah,
I have disadvantage anyway.
yeah, we'll say. Go for it.
I'm tired. Exhausted, as you say. Disadvantage, still a 12, so 15.
Okay.
okay.
As Sten's kind of like, he's got tears running through his eyes. Like, "Guys, I don't know, Captain. We could be close. I don't know." It's like, we should be close to land by now. You see,
Yeah, I'm like, what?
probably 200 or 300 feet away, you see large rocks, and then land. And
Land?
in the distance,
What?
you see mountains. You see green land that extends out, and then more mountains beyond, valleys,
It's like touching
plateaus.
Davina's face.
Are you sure they're mountains and not a flying creature?
Yes.
Yes.
And eventually,
Yeah,
as you are getting closer, you see a large bay where a wide mouth of water enters into this landscape, and you see mountains to the west, and then a large beach to the east that is enclosed by more mountains further east of that, and then beyond, more mountainous terrain followed by, or beset by lots of like lush green, rich jungle.
Are we hallucinating?
Getting closer still,
Collectively?
Timdale, you see a very small port city set against rock and sand, where large fields of crops near either edge of thick forests lead on. 2 or 3 more hours of sailing, you get closer, where everyone now can see First Fire Port and the Heart of Mora.
Yes.
You guys still have to dock the ship.
Let's do it.
And we faced a dragon already. Like,
I think we should just let this fucker sink.
we're killing Jack Sparrow it into the bay.
Oh yeah.
So, need everyone aboard as Zobra is like, we are close to the docks, we need to dock this ship. Everyone make me intelligence checks to see how well you follow directions here.
Oh, cool.
16.
18.
16,
15.
must do math.
That's no stuff.
16, 18, 15.
20.
4.
That's a lot of good
Davina
things.
and I are still just looking.
But that makes sense, because Davina does let you
You guys are like aghast right now, just like, oh my god, land. It's been weeks, essentially. That would be the evening of after day.
I can't even bear. I can barely.
But the rest of you are following orders well enough to make up the difference. Next, I need everyone to make me athletics checks as well.
Oh, so I'll have to start.
17.
Okay.
13.
This dice is the dice.
10.
This has been working really well for me.
19.
And
15.
Nice.
19.
Nice. Oh, man. Good job, you guys. You will not crash. That's fantastic. As Zobra is instructing you guys, you're heeding these instructions very well. And even with only one mast, the ship is still moving quite fast towards the port, and she kind of like ease the sails as you pull the sails in, and the ship slows. You see, as you're closing in towards the docks, a small frigate ship that is kind of patrolling the waters outside, marked with blue and white flags, begin to close in on you as well.
We're like smoldering and coming in. Like, come on, let us dock
Let us
first.
breathe, okay?
God.
As Zovra kind of instructing you along to slow the pace of the ship to basically almost a standstill as you're floating towards the dock, probably 100 or 200 feet away, and this frigate comes up beside you. She kind of steps down from her from the mast, or from the wheel, and comes to the edge of the ship, calling out as this frigate comes across the side of her. This young-looking sort of captain of the ship comes to the edge of it and yells across as both ships come up beside each other, and you see ropes kind of like swing across and cling onto your ship. As Zovra is expecting this, she's kind of like, let them hold. They're just making sure. Everybody at ease. Say nothing. Do nothing. Let me do the talking. As she calls to one of the knights, grab the princess. We need her. And he comes downstairs. And eventually she comes up.
She died in the dragon battle.
The exchange of words is kind of along the lines of,
She's a smoldering skeleton.
Captain Young Liaman, this is the haste of the sea.
The haste of the sea. Fucking nerds.
Who goes there? Mark your business. I'm Captain Zovra, transporting Princess Marcia of Avondale to the Heart of Mora. You're supposed to have a fleet with you. The fleet was lost in the seas across our journey.
Good us.
You're still intact, only barely. Yes, we encountered
I don't like his tone.
Very rude.
the beast of the mountain, assailed us. As the princess finally comes up, she kind of like steps aside and pushes over. I will take it from here. Princess Marcia Avondale, announcing herself, take us into port. Princess! Very well! You may go! As the frigate kind of like drifts off, you see them unhook the grapples, the ropes come clean, and the ship begins to move towards the docks, as you guys are instructed. You see the princess flanked by 3 of the knights, all standing towards the front of the ship right now, looking on as they await the arrival. At this point, you see the 2 elves come up as well. Crew will come up, the 3 dwarves. Everybody is atop deck at this point as you guys begin to make your way into port. It is very much 7, 8 o'clock, just dusk, basically. There's only a little bit of light coming in from the sky. As you guys come into the port, by the time you do dock, it will be dark.
Can I collect my belongings from my room? Can I get ready to get off the ship?
Yep.
Like my bones.
So as you guys kind of come into the dock area,
I could use
and
this.
I was
you see
thinking the exact same thing.
essentially this dock comes out fairly far into the ocean, but is on either side of it.
Another bear.
There's rocking.
Maybe
Oops,
2
excuse me.
pigs.
Rocks on either side, and then beyond that you see the town that is
I
on
hope
the
they have
land.
something very stiff.
But eventually there's enough hands on the top, and you guys come to a slow halt and throw anchor across, and the dock or the boat itself is stopped. And finally, you've arrived at the Heart of Mora.
Huzzah!
Did it. First quest completed.
So, as you guys are coming into dock and the ship comes to a halt, those of you who wish to go downstairs to collect your belongings,
Yes.
as everyone does the same as people, the dwarves, everybody begins to pack up their things, and you kind of hear the shuffling of things. People are really uneasy right now. It's like dead quiet across the ship. Otherwise,
Grab my shit and get right
Yeah, I'll
out the
grab my shit and get
Yeah,
the
me
on
too.
dodge.
I'll put little scraps in my gun pack.
okay.
Yeah.
So,
I have it on a stick. A whole bundle.
Oh, it's almost out.
so as you guys are.
But you are the littlest hobo now.
So you guys are gathering your things up. You come to the top of the deck after getting your bags together, and you see the 2 elves exiting down the gangplank, and they kind of look back over their shoulders. You see, waiting at the bottom of the gangplank on the docks, several guards that are lined up at the very edge of it, but you also see an individual who Zavra is currently talking with down at the docks. You see a man who is very large, a huge round belly, and this kind of like bowl cut of straw hair, walking with this kind of like almost like he's straddling a horse the entire way, and kind of like fixing his belt every half second, and kind of keeping his gut in check. His voice kind of like echoing above. He kind of like shakes hands with a couple of the elves before the 2 elves carry on, and at this point the knights and the princess they're nowhere to be seen. They were likely the first ones off while you guys were down below deck. As you guys come to the edge of the gangplank, and Zovra kind of like down at the bottom, she waves you down to come join.
Sorry, one more time. There's
So
Avondale
they're-
guards standing with Zovra.
Well, there's Avondale guards that are standing at the very edge of the where the land meets the dock, but on the dock itself is just this big fat man, and then Zovra standing at the bottom of the gangplank. So like if you're walking along the dock, you'll have to walk past the soldiers to get into the city, basically. But they don't need to be at the edge of the ship, so they're just kind of keeping an eye on things right now from the edge of the land, essentially. And Zovra kind of like waves you down.
Who's going first?
I'll strut down first.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm right behind.
Oh,
Okay.
why not?
Here it comes.
Yeah.
I follow with caution, my foot up.
Okay.
I go down first because I noticed that the elves went down. Like, I don't have to worry about them behind us.
Did the elves go down?
Yeah.
They were, yeah, you guys saw them
Nice.
leaving, and then as you guys like walk down, you see them walking into the city and eventually
So they were
disappear.
with, okay.
I'm going to, before I go, I'll take off the mask and cast Disguise Self on myself to make me look human.
Okay. So, as you guys walk down, and Zovra is kind of like, very well, come.
Captain.
Douglas, would you like to run them through?
Oh, very well there, Captain. Welcome to the Heart of Mora, everyone. Douglas Fairley here. Now I need to take a couple of things of information from you. First off, names.
Barrett Montgomery Aylstone.
Hey, slow down. How many names have you got there?
Barrett Montgomery
Yep.
Aylstone.
Wow.
Dill.
Okay.
Picklesby.
Yep.
Howie.
Huh?
We do it.
Do.
It.
I'm gonna spell this my way.
Yep. The
Third.
Esquire.
I'll leave that last bit up. Ran out of room. And purpose of visit?
Aspiring knight.
Entertainment.
Pleasure.
Yeah. Entertainment.
Esquire. So you're a lawyer as well.
Oh, entertainment. All right. Well, fancy that. Next.
Tyndall, get at the first.
First, you say. Very good.
Hi.
Purpose of visit?
Talking to you.
Entertainment.
Looks out and then looks down.
Entertainment as well. All right. Are you a troupe of some kind or something?
Yes.
Well, lovely. Welcome. Next.
Lucian Foliatis.
Lucian Foliatis. Okay, all right. Purpose of business?
I would like to say I'm doing a thesis on these fine individuals and the effects of seasickness and long-term days at voyage at sea.
I'm gonna call it learning. Sounds fair enough.
Learning.
Next.
Davina.
Davina.
Just Davina. And I'm also here. I'm assisting him. I am his student doing my thesis.
Yep. Learning as well. You got it. Learning. Extra D. Next. Hey. Husk. Purpose visit.
Hunt.
Well, that makes sense. Better to hunt than be hunted, eh? Plenty of good hunting around here. Be careful.
Man meat.
Next.
I am shocked.
You Shaggy. Wow. Making the pilgrimage, are you?
I'm here on business.
Oh, business. Simple as that, eh? Well, welcome to the Heart of Mora.
And who might you be?
Name's Douglas Fairley. I run the docks around here.
As you guys look around, you see the docks are not necessarily bustling, as you're the only ones docking. There is one other frigate ship that is docked right now, and the other one is patrolling the waters outside. They're both fairly identical. The docks themselves look rather a mess. There are old crates, barrels. Everything is kind of stacked around haphazardly. It looks overcrowded and cluttered with very few workers actually working or anything like that. It's just barrels, crates, things like that are stacked around, no particular order, toppling over one another. Old. Some of them seem like they've been sitting there so long they have like barnacles growing up the sides of them and things like that.
Yeah, I run the docks around here, and now, never mind the mess. I'm working on it, of course. If you need anything stored in the warehouse, though, you feel free to come and ask me. I charge 1 silver a week for that storage. Don't worry, I'll keep them in check. I got plenty of books. No worries. So, Zavra, how fared the seas? I seen the boat, seen better days.
Yes, do you remember?
Oh, no. We don't speak about that as far as it's concerned around here. That's one of those things that doesn't happen. You know what I mean?
Are we talking about the same thing?
Well, not to mention the flying creature around the folk of the town. It is as far as the authorities are concerned, it is not
a problem.
That song's not gonna work.
Well, you know how that goes. Many people can say a lot of many things, but you know, if you don't say them out loud, there's no problems. You don't want to end up in the stocks or worse. So keep that close to your chest and work hard if you're going to work, that's for sure. And you better be working. Well, here's first fire port, and I don't know if you're looking for any lodging or anything. No. We will be. I at least will be staying with my sister. Oh yeah, well she's changed things up a little bit since last you were here, but you know it's the same old place for the most part. Well, she's not. No. They had to put a stop to that business. You know what I mean?
No.
Purple stem.
What business?
Atanda used to run sort of a place of good company in the city. Well, she's not doing that anymore. I think she's trying to broaden her horizons, maybe age getting to her or something along those lines. But as far as I was concerned, it was lovely to have around the town. But never mind that. She wasn't interested in old Douglas anyway.
Can we at least get a drink there?
Oh yes, of course, as long as you're not looking for fine wines or anything like that. But I know that Faded Breast certainly offers good beer, and at a decent price. Otherwise, help yourselves to the town there. There's always... Let me just get a little map out here for me. You guys don't know, though, yet.
Shoot us a recommendation, Farley. Where do we get a good bite to eat?
Well, if you're looking for the finest bite, I'd recommend heading up the street there to the right to the Burning Hunter's Lodge.
Burning Hunter's Lodge.
You'll get a fine drink there, too, there's no doubt. What's his name behind the bar? He'll make you a fine drink. The best you'll ever have, that's for certain.
What kind of drink?
Well, an expensive one, but the best you'll ever have, I guarantee it.
It's enough for me.
What the heck's his name again? I can't remember.
It's fine, we know the place.
Yeah, that'll do just fine. Luke, I believe his name is.
We've met a Luke before, yeah.
Oh, have ya?
Oh, this guy's like fucking dude.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
His name is Simple Luke.
Simple Luke, yeah.
Our friend Luke's got a boxing match with a man named Luke. In the town we met you, actually. Just before we met you.
Just before we met you.
You're free to stay wherever you like, but, again, I would put you in fair... I would probably be able to get you at least one free night with my sister if you would like to share the evening at the Faded Breast. It is down to the south point area of town. Oh, yeah, it should be easy enough to find. If you're looking for the Faded Breast, if you go into the Francie Francia's as a clothing place, and the Bloated Rocks Tavern if you're looking for another drink, it's right across from the Faded Breast.
All the drinks.
Oh, aye.
When you have...
Pub crawl.
When you have... was it bloated rocks? What was it again?
Bloated rocks!
When your rocks are bloated, you need to go pay a visit to...
Blotted, not bloated.
Okay.
What's the fashion place? What's the place for?
A Fancy Francia!
A Fancy Francie.
Oh, yeah, if you're looking for a fine garment, she'll sort you out, that's for certain.
It seems like right up your alley.
I believe I need some gloves.
Are you looking for work in, studying and business and entertainment? Well, if you're an entertainer, I know the Burning Hunter's Lodge, often pay the musicians an evening if you're willing to entertain the room.
No, I can't see why not.
Other than that, you could always try joining the army. I know we are in desperate need of soldiers. Hey, Zovra, wasn't we expecting a few other ships with us? Yes. Well, there were supposed to be horses and troops and everything. That, unfortunate. They lost at sea. I will not count them out, but they did not arrive with us. Hey, well, that's a damn shame. You know, the war has been putting many soldiers to the death, so we're running low on that. And I know the King's Guild is also running low on people as well.
It has been pretty hard time since you've been last back. Anyway, best I not talk about it. Looks back towards the guards and anyway, we should best get loading. Actually, I believe, Douglas, the ship certainly not ready for anything like that. It will need much repairs before we are seaworthy again. Oh, that's a shame. As you can see, and he looks behind, it's like there's just crates and barrels and things like that everywhere. We're a little overstocked at the moment, and we're looking to ship them on out. Well, it will have to wait, and we will assess the damage in the morning, as it is quite late. No, yes, of course. Never mind me. I'll make sure everything is secure and safe. Don't worry, anybody on this vessel will be sharp checked before they do head on. We'll make sure that they do, and this is my ship, as you know. Oh, yes, I've been here before. It's over. Welcome back. Thank you, Douglas. Well, I am happy that I was able to finally get you to the heart, all alive, intact. Can understand now why not everybody makes this journey. Welcome to the Heart of Mora. Best of luck to you.
Yes.
I'm sure I will see you again, Captain. Thank you.
Very well.
As we're all kind of standing there, me and Lucian talked about it a little bit ago, but I don't think I've gotten everybody's. Are we in on this together? We haven't really talked about it since coming out of the Red Woman's tent. We were all given our own quests to do, but we never talked of whether or not we're doing this as together.
What the heck? Just let me tip down.
Perhaps it is wise to go about this with more people. I do not travel with others often.
Whiskey boy. You don't kill me, I don't kill you.
So
Fellowship of the Lord. Set him down. Set him down.
Tim Kebab.
well, we're in this together then.
Fellowship of the Tyndale. Lovely.
Did anybody else hear the Jurassic theme when he said welcome to the Heart of Mora?
I'm not sure about you guys, but I'm going to get drunk.
I'm going to follow suit.
Maybe we should start at this Faded Breast,
Yes.
the seediest place in town.
Indeed.
Zovra has.
If they serve drinks,
You'll never find a place more.
We've already been invited by Zovra, so.
I'm not looking for anything too fancy yet.
On the butt.
So as you guys begin to walk down the docks towards land, stepping past crates and barrels and the clutter of this dockside, and you see the warehouse to the left of where you're walking, and the doors are open. They're so full of random loot and crap and just goods basically that need to be taken somewhere else that are currently taking up lots of space. And that is a perfect time for us to end our session for tonight. And you guys have made it!
Boots on the ground.
Boots on the ground! Many World Masters' Heart of Mora is recorded in Chibuktuk, in Mi'kmahi, the ancestral and unceded territory of the Mi'kmaq people. This territory is covered by the Treaties of Peace and Friendship, which recognizes Mi'kmaq and Wolastoqiyik title and establishes rules for what is to be an ongoing relationship between nations. We are all treaty people, and proudly support working and cooperating together to create a peaceful community where we can all live our best adventure.